my beloved child. I speak to you today from the very depths of my heart, for you are infinitely precious to me. Listen to these words with your entire being. I ask for just a brief moment of your attention to hear my voice rising above the noise of this world. What I wish to share with you right now is of far greater importance than any worry currently occupying your thoughts. Stay with me a little longer. Open your spirit. Let me gently wash away the heavy pain that burdens your soul and banish the dark, melancholic thoughts that haunt your quiet moments. I hold you close, offering a profound serenity and a peace unlike anything this world can provide. Come to me and trust me with your heavy heart. Allow yourself to be truly, unconditionally loved. I am the eternal keeper of promises, and the message I bring to you today holds a divine purpose for your future. I am here to lift your weary spirit, to restore the authentic smile to your face, and to assure you that my presence in your life is real and unwavering. Every morning as you seek me, know that my love for you is vast and eternal. I want you to not only know it, but to feel this sacred love burning within you, so you can finally find true happiness once more. Stay and listen, for your breakthrough begins with this very word, revealing a path you never knew existed. Stay with me a little longer, and open your heart to the absolute stillness of this new day. Before the noise of the world rushes in, before the relentless demands of your daily life begin to pull at your spirit, I want you to rest quietly in this sacred, lingering pause. I am asking you to let me take away the pain that burdens your soul, to gently lift the invisible weight that you have been carrying across so many weary seasons. The nights can sometimes feel unimaginably heavy, and I know that in those quiet, solitary hours, your mind often races with worries about tomorrow and regrets from yesterday. I want to entirely banish the melancholic thoughts that haunt your mind, replacing the shadows of doubt with a profound, unshakable, and lasting peace. As the first gentle light of dawn begins to crest the horizon, quietly breaking through the fading darkness of the night, I want you to know that I am already standing right beside you. I am the very breath that fills your lungs, the steady rhythm of your beating heart, and the gentle warmth that touches your weary face. I want you to consciously open your eyes, take a deep, slow breath, and deeply feel my encompassing presence surrounding you in this very room. You are never waking up alone. Even before your feet touch the floor, even before you utter a single word, my eyes are upon you, filled with an everlasting and compassionate love. I see the fatigue that sometimes lingers in your bones, the quiet exhaustion of a faithful servant who has weathered many storms. Yet, every morning as you seek me, I want you to know with absolute certainty that I love you truly, deeply, and without any condition. I offer you serenity and peace like no other, a tranquility that the world cannot offer and cannot understand. This is not a fragile peace that shatters at the first sign of trouble, but a deep flowing river of calm that anchors your spirit. Come to me just as you are, and trust me with your beautiful, fragile heart. Allow yourself to be loved simply and profoundly without feeling the need to earn my affection or prove your worth. You are my cherished creation, and my devotion to you is as constant as the rising sun. I am the eternal keeper of promises, and my words to you today hold a profound, life-altering purpose. I am here, in the quiet sanctuary of your morning, to lift your spirits and to bring a true, authentic smile to your face. I want your waking moments to be filled with the quiet confidence of knowing you are utterly safe. I have never left your side for a single second, and I will never forget you. This is an unshakable truth that you must build your life upon. When the world feels unsteady, when the ground shifts beneath your feet, remember that you are secure in my hands. sheltered and perfectly protected from the storms that rage outside. Place your trust in me completely, leaning your entire weight upon my endless strength, for my arms are forever open to you, ready to hold you through every season of your life. There is such immense beauty in the way you reach out to me as the day begins. I listen attentively to your cries and your whispered prayers as you welcome each new day. I hear the words you speak aloud, but I also hear the silent pleas that echo in the depths of your spirit, the prayers you cannot quite find the words to articulate. I delight in your morning greetings, especially when they are filled with the quiet confidence and trust of a child speaking to their father. You know, deep in your soul, that I am here to listen, actively and intentionally, ready to answer every benevolent request you bring to me. It warms my heart beyond measure when you pray for your family, for your intercession on their behalf holds great and eternal significance. When you lift up the names of your children, your spouse, your siblings, and your friends, you are inviting my divine light to wash over their lives. I see your selfless love, your deep concern for their well-being, and your desire for them to walk in truth and safety. Do not ever think that these morning prayers are in vain. Every single word you utter in faith is gathered up and cherished in my presence, setting into motion miracles that are unfolding even now, behind the veil of the physical world. As you step into the hours ahead, do not let your focus drift to trivial matters that drain your energy and steal your joy. The world will try to distract you with 1,000 small urgencies, demanding your attention and trying to pull your gaze away from my peaceful face. But I ask you to keep your spiritual eyes fixed on me. When life's sudden tribulations leave you feeling lost or disoriented, immediately seek your solace in me. I am your safe harbor in the tempest, the solid rock upon which you can stand when the waters rise. I know that there are times when you feel entirely overwhelmed, surrounded by conflict or facing mountains that seem utterly insurmountable. In those exact moments of desperation, remember that I am your ultimate solution. I do not offer temporary fixes. I offer divine, lasting resolution. I do not want anxiety to enslave you, nor do I want baseless fears to consume the precious time I have given you on this earth. Fear is a thief that tries to rob you of today's blessings by painting dark pictures of tomorrow. But I am the author of your tomorrow, and I have already written a beautiful ending to your story. Breathe in my peace once more. Let the air fill your lungs with the absolute assurance that the Creator of the universe is actively fighting your battles. You have placed your trust in me because you have seen my faithfulness in the past, and you know deep down that I will not let you down. Every morning is a blank canvas, a fresh opportunity to walk hand in hand with the divine. I want you to treasure this quiet time, to let my comforting presence soak into your skin like the morning sun. Let my peace sink deep into your bones, releasing the tension in your shoulders, unclenching your hands, and smoothing the worry lines from your brow. Think of the countless mornings you have awakened with a heavy heart, carrying the residual pain of yesterday's trials. I have been there in every single one of those awakenings. I have sat at the edge of your bed, watching over your resting mind, waiting patiently for you to open your eyes. My beloved child, I want to gently pull you out of the habit of waking up in defense mode, bracing yourself for the challenges of the day. Instead, I want you to wake up in a posture of complete surrender and joyful anticipation. The morning is my daily gift to you, a gentle reminder that my mercies are completely new every single day. They are never exhausted, never depleted, and never withheld from you when you seek them with an open heart. When you take that deep breath, breathing in the stillness of the dawn, visualize inhaling my radiant light and exhaling every shadow of doubt. The melancholic thoughts that sometimes try to attach themselves to your waking mind have no authority over you anymore. I have given you a spirit of power, of boundless love, and of a sound, clear mind. Let the quietness of your house, the soft rustle of the leaves outside your window, and the gentle breaking of the dawn serve as a symphony of my love for you. I arranged the very stars in the sky and set the sun on its course, yet my ultimate delight is found in the simple, quiet moments of communion with you. Do not rush past this sacred morning connection. The world can wait. The endless tasks, the demanding voices, the urgent responsibilities, they will all be there later, but they will look vastly different when you face them clothed in my supernatural armor. I am wrapping you in a mantle of profound serenity, a protective shield that will guard your emotions and your reactions throughout the day. When you are rooted in my encompassing presence right from the start, the conflicts that used to easily overwhelm you will lose their power. You will walk with a steady, unhurried grace, guided by a wisdom that comes directly from my spirit. You have walked with me through many seasons of life. You have seen mountains moved, and you have also walked through valleys where the shadows were long and deep. Because of your journey, your morning prayers carry a rich, beautiful depth. You no longer just ask for fleeting things, you pray for the eternal well-being of your family, pouring out your love for them before my throne. This mature, steadfast faith is a precious fragrance in heaven. I cherish the reverence in your spirit and the quiet strength that you have cultivated over the years. You have learned that I am a keeper of promises, that my word does not return void, and that my love is the only true constant in an ever-changing world. So, as you sit in the quietness of this morning, let go of any lingering anxiety. Do not allow baseless fears to convince you that the future holds anything less than my perfect will for your life. You are entirely secure in my hands. Those hands created the galaxies, yet they are gentle enough to wipe away every unseen tear from your eyes. They are strong enough to hold your entire family, providing for them, guiding them, and protecting them from the snares of the enemy. Your trust is not misplaced. Your faith is not in vain. Breathe deeply once again. Feel the rhythm of my peace flowing through your veins. You are my beloved child, cherished beyond human comprehension, and destined for a life of profound joy and spiritual victory. Every single benevolent request you whisper in the quiet sanctuary of this dawn is heard, recorded, and being actively answered by the Creator of all things. Rest in this beautiful, eternal truth. Let it be the firm foundation upon which you confidently build the hours of your day. But this morning is different, for I am about to reveal a deliverance you never saw coming. Hold on to my word today, and treasure it deep within the quietest chambers of your soul. Keep it close to your heart, letting it serve as a steady anchor when the unpredictable winds of uncertainty begin to blow. As you stand in the calm of this morning, I want to invite you to journey back with me for just a moment. Look over your shoulder at the long landscape of your life. I want you to remember with vivid clarity the wondrous things I have done for you in the past. This is not an exercise in living in yesterday, but a necessary gathering of spiritual strength for tomorrow. Memory is a powerful vessel of faith, and when you reflect on how far I have brought you, the trials of today begin to lose their intimidating shadow. Think back to those specific seasons when the heavy clouds gathered, when the path ahead was entirely obscured, and you felt completely overwhelmed by the challenges that stood before you. Do you remember the times when you felt entirely surrounded by adversaries, when circumstances conspired against you and you could not see a logical way out? I was there. I was the invisible shield standing between you and the fierce storms that sought to break your spirit. I rescued you from adversaries that you simply could not defeat on your own. There were moments when you were pushed to the absolute edge of despair, standing on the precipice of total exhaustion, feeling as though your emotional strength had completely evaporated. In those dark moments, the world told you to surrender to defeat, to accept that the burden was just too heavy to carry. The relentless voices of doubt whispered that you had finally reached the end of your endurance, that there was no hope left to grasp. But it was precisely in those dire moments, when all truly seemed lost, that I extended my mighty hand to you. I did not let you fall into the abyss. I reached into the depths of your sorrow and delivered you from peril. I want you to vividly recall that miraculous rescue. Remember the profound relief that washed over your entire being when an unexpected solution appeared. When a permanently closed door suddenly swung open, or when a heavy financial or emotional burden was miraculously lifted from your weary shoulders. That was not a random coincidence. That was not mere luck or the gentle passing of time. That was my powerful word in action, orchestrating events in the unseen realm to bring about your absolute deliverance. I returned to you in your darkest hour, performing miracles beyond human imagination, simply because you are my beloved child and I could not bear to see you overwhelmed. I want you to intentionally linger on the memory of those divine miracles. Let the reality of my past faithfulness sink deeply into your weary bones. When your anxious mind tries to convince you that your current problems are insurmountable, I want you to forcefully remind your mind of the massive mountains we have already conquered together. The exact same God who parted the waters for you yesterday is standing steadfastly with you today. The same gentle hand that pulled you back from the edge of despair in your past is currently resting upon your shoulder. I have never lost a single battle, and I have never abandoned you in the absolute center of a storm. Your personal history with me is a profound testament to my unwavering love and my absolute sovereign power over the circumstances of your life. Sometimes, the human heart suffers from a painful spiritual amnesia. When a sudden new challenge arises, the fear can be so incredibly loud that it drowns out the quiet memory of past victories. This is exactly why I am speaking to you so intimately today. I am gently reminding you of your own powerful testimony. Look at the scars of past battles that have now beautifully healed into permanent marks of resilience. Look at the profound wisdom you have gained from the dark valleys you faithfully walked through. None of those brutal trials broke you because I was the unshakable foundation beneath your fragile feet. I want you to use the powerful memory of those past rescues as a divine weapon against the daily anxieties that try to violently attack your peace of mind today. When fear attempts to tell you that this current situation will be your ultimate undoing, you must boldly declare that your God is a God of wondrous, unfailing deliverance. There are still so many magnificent wonders I can work for you. My heavenly reservoir of miracles is never depleted. The supernatural grace that sustained you in your youth, the divine intervention that flawlessly protected you in your past, it is all still abundantly available to you right at this very second. I have not changed in the slightest, and my deep, abiding affection for you has only grown richer with the passing of time. Have absolute, unwavering confidence in me. I am asking you to completely lay down your exhausting need to constantly control every single outcome and to simply let me continue to powerfully assist you. You do not have to fight these terrifying battles in your own limited strength. You do not have to frantically figure out every complex detail of your unknown future. I am the grand, masterful architect of your entire destiny, and I know exactly how to flawlessly navigate the intense complexities of your current, turbulent season. My deepest desire is to faithfully protect you, day and night. I eagerly want to be the ultimate guardian of your fragile peace, standing a vigilant watch over your resting mind as you sleep and gently guiding your tentative steps as you walk through your busy day. When you finally place your unwavering, total trust in my past faithfulness, it instantly opens a massive, wide channel for incredible future blessings to seamlessly flow directly into your life. Faith is the divine, powerful currency of heaven, and when you freely spend it by wholly believing in my promises, you set majestic, supernatural forces into immediate motion. I am currently preparing to do stunning things in your life that will completely astound those gathered around you. The exact same miraculous power that powerfully brought you back from the treacherous edge of despair is currently working fiercely behind the unseen scenes to perfectly arrange earthly circumstances in your absolute favor. I am strategically lining up the right people, flinging open the right doors, and permanently clearing the massive obstacles that have stubbornly stood in your way. Do not ever let the temporary delays of this life convince you that I have somehow forgotten your desperate prayers. Sometimes the absolute greatest, most profound miracles require the longest preparation. While you are anxiously waiting, I am actively working. I am deeply refining your beautiful character, vastly strengthening your spiritual endurance, and perfectly preparing your heart to carry the massive weight of the incredible blessings that are swiftly coming. If I simply gave you everything you quickly asked for the exact moment you asked for it, you would never truly develop the deep, unshakable trust that only comes from bravely walking through the desolate wilderness by pure faith. The wilderness is never a place of divine punishment. It is a sacred place of profound preparation. It is where you finally learn that my comforting presence is infinitely more valuable than any physical comfort. It is where you learn that even when you have absolutely nothing else, if you have me, you have everything you could ever possibly need. So, as you deeply reflect on the perilous moments of your past, do not view them with heavy regret or lingering, paralyzing fear. View them as the magnificent, sweeping canvas upon which I have permanently painted the breathtaking masterpiece of my redemptive grace. Every bitter tear you cried in those agonizingly dark seasons watered the beautiful seeds of the resilient faith you possess today. Every terrifying moment you felt entirely alone was a moment I was actually holding you closer than you could comprehend. You survived the darkness because I fiercely sustained you. You powerfully overcame because I infused your weary spirit with a supernatural strength that was clearly not your own. You are a walking, beautiful testament to my infinite sustaining power. When you look closely at the jagged, painful edges of your personal history, do not see permanent brokenness. Instead, choose to clearly see the precise places where my divine grace perfectly filled the devastating gaps and miraculously held your fragile life together. You are a true masterpiece of my redemptive power. The cruel adversaries that sought to bring you down have instead become the very footstools of your spiritual elevation. The fiery trials that were meant to destroy your faith have only served to temper it into unbreakable, shining steel. As you purposefully move forward through this day, carry the vivid memory of my past deliverances as an impenetrable shield of radiant light. When unexpected news arrives, or when an old, familiar fear stubbornly attempts to aggressively knock at the fragile door of your mind, you must instantly reply with the overwhelming evidence of my unfailing love. Speak directly to your daunting circumstances and loudly tell them that your eternal God is the sovereign master of impossible rescues. Let your weary soul be firmly anchored in the absolute certainty that the omnipotent creator of all things is fiercely committed to your absolute well-being. You are not aimlessly wandering through this chaotic world. You are being carefully guided, fiercely protected, and endlessly cherished by a majestic love that knows absolutely no boundaries and recognizes no earthly limitations. Take a deep, incredibly cleansing breath right now. Feel the heavy, suffocating burdens of yesterday completely melting away beneath the comforting warmth of my eternal promises. You are entirely safe. You are securely held. You are completely victorious. The astonishing miracles I have already faithfully performed in your life are merely the beautiful prelude to the magnificent symphony of blessings I am about to release upon you. If you are finding peace in these words, hit subscribe and like so you don't miss what comes next. Now, let us walk into the sanctuary of your family. I see the secret tears you shed when absolutely no one else is watching, and I clearly hear the fervent, desperate prayers you whisper for the well-being of those you hold dear. I know the profound, unyielding depth of your love for your family, a selfless love that so closely mirrors my own eternal, unending affection for you. Often you kneel in the absolute quietness of your room, long after the rest of the house has surrendered to sleep, and you fiercely intercede for others. You pour out the very depths of your weary soul for the divine protection, the total salvation, and the complete physical and emotional healing of your precious children, your spouse, and your extended relatives. You willingly and heavily carry their massive, complex burdens upon your own fragile shoulders, sometimes pushing yourself to the absolute brink of emotional and physical exhaustion. I understand entirely, with a heart full of boundless compassion, that family matters can bring you unimaginable distress and deep, lingering, agonizing hurt. The sacred bonds of family are the absolute closest, most intricate ties of the human heart, and exactly because they are so intimately and intricately close, they are the specific, vulnerable places where words and actions can cut the deepest and hurt the longest. You have painfully felt the sharp, sudden sting of bitter misunderstanding within the once safe walls of your own home. You have stayed awake through the long, silent, agonizing hours of the night, your anxious mind endlessly turning over difficult, heated conversations, worrying deeply about the destructive life choices of those you love so fiercely, and desperately searching the darkness for any possible way to bring genuine harmony back to your divided household. I see the massive, hidden daily toll this constant, unseen intercession takes upon your fragile, beautiful spirit. You give so much of your own vital energy to keeping the fragile peace, constantly, tirelessly mediating petty disputes, constantly giving of your limited time and drained resources, and constantly hoping against all rational hope for a permanent, miraculous breakthrough. You absorb the anger of others. You swallow your own defensive words to prevent another fiery argument. You stand in the widening gap for your family, a silent sentinel of faith guarding the doorway of your home. Yet, in all of this beautiful, selfless, incredible sacrifice, you rarely pause to ask for anything for yourself. You are so intently, singularly focused on the spiritual and emotional survival of your earthly lineage that you completely forget that your own soul desperately needs tender tending, deep watering, and immense divine restoration directly from my hand. You cannot endlessly pour out wine if your own vessel is entirely empty, and you cannot offer lasting peace to your children if your own mind is a chaotic battlefield of untreated anxiety. Because of this immense, continuous, crushing weight you carry day after day, sometimes you urgently and desperately need moments of true recovery, profound rest, and quiet, undisturbed prayer. You simply cannot pour the living, healing water of my love into the empty, broken cups of your family members if your own spiritual vessel has run completely dry and cracked under the pressure. I am inviting you now, in this very specific holy moment, to consciously and intentionally step away from the relentless demanding noise of the household and the heavy, exhausting demands of those who constantly rely on your strength. Taking a deliberate, protective moment of complete silence, actively seeking intentional solitude, and entering into deep, undisturbed, intimate communion with my Holy Spirit is profoundly soothing for your weary, battered soul. Imagine, right now, stepping into a secret, invisible, glorious sanctuary that I have built exclusively for you. A quiet, holy place where the loud clamor of petty family disputes absolutely cannot reach, and where the heavy, suffocating mantle of daily responsibility is gently and lovingly lifted from your tired shoulders by my own strong hands. Here, in my glorious, radiant presence, you are absolutely not the endless, exhausted mediator. You are not the worn-out caregiver. You are not the primary, burdened provider. Here, in this quietness, you are simply and beautifully my beloved child, resting securely and safely in the hollow of my mighty hand, with nothing required of you but to simply exist in my love. I want to wrap my comforting, heavy presence entirely around you like a warm, thick, protective mantle that blocks out the biting wind of the world. Feel the frantic, racing, terrifying rhythm of your anxious heart begin to gradually, smoothly slow down and perfectly align with the steady, peaceful, eternal beat of my own heart. Allow my gentle Holy Spirit to softly minister to the hidden, bruised, aching places of your mind that have been deeply wounded by harsh, thoughtless, cruel words spoken in anger within your home. The divine, total recovery I offer you today is absolutely not merely catching up on physical sleep. It is a profound, complete, miraculous spiritual recalibration of your entire emotional being. It is the miraculous restoration of your inner, unshakable joy, the vital, necessary rebuilding of your shattered spiritual defenses, and the total, beautiful, life-altering renewal of your entire perspective. When you purposefully and intentionally rest in me, completely letting go of your need to control the family dynamic, you are actually actively participating in the ultimate divine healing of your entire family. Because a healed, deeply rested, and spiritually grounded you instantly becomes the absolute greatest possible conduit for my heavenly, transformative peace to flow directly into your home. Let the profound, thick silence of my presence become a literal, soothing, healing balm to your tense physical body. Let the absolute, uninterrupted quietness wash entirely over the chaotic, swirling, terrifying thoughts that try to desperately tell you your family situation is somehow permanently broken and completely beyond my repair. In this wholly unbroken solitude, I am actively and meticulously recalibrating your spiritual vision so you can clearly see your loved ones not through the dark, distorted lens of earthly frustration or paralyzing fear, but perfectly and beautifully through the radiant, hopeful lens of my eternal, unfailing grace. We are absolutely not just talking about casually resolving a minor, temporary relational conflict or simply surviving another difficult, tense season with your loved ones. We are talking about something infinitely much deeper, vastly more significant, and completely permanent. We are talking about the total, complete healing and divine realignment of your entire generational line. For far too long, unseen, heavy chains of ancient sorrow, destructive, repetitive patterns of toxic misunderstanding, and painful, entrenched cycles of emotional distance have stubbornly tried to take deep, permanent root in the soil of your family tree. You have clearly seen these dark, repetitive patterns with your own eyes. You have sadly, painfully recognized the familiar, haunting echoes of old, unhealed pain trying to powerfully and destructively manifest in the daily lives, marriages, and behaviors of your children and your precious grandchildren. But listen to me very closely. I have specifically, intentionally, and deliberately chosen you to be the grand, final turning point for your entire bloodline. Your unwavering, steadfast, quiet faith. Your beautiful, stubborn endurance through the darkest years, and your countless, tearful midnight intercessions have perfectly positioned you as the unbreakable, solid spiritual anchor for your entire family structure. The enemy foolishly and arrogantly thought he could effectively use the deep, agonizing distress of family matters to totally distract your mind. to completely break your firm resolve, and to ultimately keep your home trapped in a tragic, unbreakable state of perpetual chaos and lingering resentment. But he entirely miscalculated the strength I placed inside you. I am powerfully using your steadfast, unyielding devotion to permanently, violently break those ancient, heavy chains forever. The quiet, desperate, whispered prayers you fervently pray in the lonely quietness of your room are absolutely not just empty, meaningless words echoing into a silent, uncaring void. They are incredibly powerful, heaven-shaking spiritual decrees that are actively, aggressively, and systematically dismantling the dark, ancient strongholds of division, addiction, and anger within your lineage right now. You are meticulously, brick by prayerful brick, laying down a brand new, utterly unbreakable, radiant foundation of solid faith and generational blessing for all the generations that will eventually follow you. Long, long after you are gone, your children's children will confidently walk in a profound, unexplainable, beautiful peace, and they will not even fully realize that it was your silent, tearful, exhausted prayers today that miraculously secured their total, joyous freedom tomorrow. This is the magnificent, sweeping, breathtaking scope of the divine, eternal work we are doing together in the unseen realm, right in the middle of your messy living room. I am permanently, surgically healing the deep, festering wounds of the past so they absolutely do not bleed into the beautiful, bright future of your family. Every single, incredibly difficult time you bravely choose radical, unmerited forgiveness over comfortable, bitter resentment, every single time you choose supernatural, quiet patience over quick, blazing anger, and every single time you choose to fiercely love when it is incredibly difficult and seemingly unreciprocated, you are violently severing a heavy, rusted link in the long, tragic chain of generational pain. I am actively pouring out a massive, overwhelming, supernatural grace over your entire physical household that will cause old, stubborn, deeply rooted animosities to completely wither and permanently die from the root up. Relationships within your family that seemed permanently fractured, utterly hopeless, and totally beyond human repair are going to be beautifully, miraculously, and suddenly restored by my own unseen, omnipotent hand. The thick, high, imposing walls of human pride and foolish, childish stubbornness that have tragically separated your loved ones for years will completely crumble to the ground. This will not happen by any exhausted human effort, nor by your endless attempts to mediate, but exclusively by the irresistible, softening, overwhelming power of my Holy Spirit moving freely and powerfully through the physical rooms of your home. You are the chosen, anointed pioneer of this incredible, unprecedented new era of family peace. Do not ever, for a single moment, underestimate the monumental, eternal, earth-shattering impact of your quiet, faithful, unyielding love. I know, intimately, that there have been agonizing, heartbreaking days when the daily relational struggle seemed so incredibly intense, so completely overwhelming, that you genuinely thought you could not carry on. But I come specifically in those exact, desperate, collapsing moments to powerfully and tenderly lift you up. The fallen, broken world, and sometimes even your own exhausted, overwhelmed, traumatized mind may have repeatedly tried to convince you that deep, unrelenting sorrow is your permanent, inescapable lot in life. They whisper that endless family strife, constant bickering, and emotional distance is simply a heavy, inevitable cross you must miserably bear until the very end of your days. But hear my voice clearly, undeniably, and powerfully today. You were absolutely not created to live in endless tears, heavy, crushing sorrow, tragic error, or perpetual relational failure. You were not masterfully, beautifully fashioned in my divine, perfect image to merely survive a grim, gray life of constant emotional bruising and relentless, exhausting relational friction within your own home. While it is certainly and undeniably true that you have bravely walked through terribly deep, unimaginably dark valleys, and though bitter, scalding tears have certainly fallen upon your pillow in the lonely, terrifying watches of the night, you are absolutely not permanently defined by that temporary sorrow. The grand, sweeping narrative of your life is absolutely not a sad, hopeless tragedy. The ongoing, unfolding narrative of your beloved family is absolutely not one of final, crushing defeat. Hear my promise and engrave it upon your soul: you will not live defeated. The intense, fiery struggles you have bravely faced, the betrayals that stung so deeply, and the misunderstandings that broke your heart were actually the intense, refining fire of the divine forge. They were specifically, purposefully designed to brilliantly temper your spirit and successfully forge a completely unbreakable, pure, diamond-like faith within the deepest core of your being. I am actively, aggressively transforming the very painful, devastating things that caused you the most profound, paralyzing grief into the solid, unshakable, glorious foundation of your greatest, most beautiful testimony of my grace. When the enemy cruelly and predictably tries to remind you of your past parental mistakes, your relational failures, or your momentary lapses in judgment, you must ignore him. When he desperately points to the current uncomfortable friction in your home as supposed undeniable proof that your faithful prayers have completely, utterly failed, you must immediately recognize that whisper as a total, fabricated lie from the pit of darkness. I am actively, continuously, and relentlessly working in the deep, hidden, secret hearts of your loved ones, even when you absolutely cannot see the slightest outward physical sign of any positive behavioral change. The beautiful, precious, life-giving seeds of eternal truth and unconditional sacrificial love that you have faithfully, tirelessly planted in their lives for years are currently growing deeply and silently in the incredibly fertile, rich soil of my boundless, amazing grace. I am constantly, tenderly watering those tiny, vulnerable seeds with my spirit. I am fiercely, jealously protecting them from the harsh, destructive elements of the world. You absolutely do not have to carry the impossible, crushing, soul-destroying burden of magically changing their complex, stubborn hearts. That is my exclusive, sovereign, divine responsibility and my great, immense joy. Your only responsibility, your only job in this season is to remain firmly, immovably anchored in my perfect love and to completely, stubbornly refuse to wear the heavy, suffocating, dark blanket of paralyzing discouragement. I am proudly, publicly raising you up as a shining, undeniable, glorious beacon of absolute, radiating hope within your entire family structure. You will stand incredibly firm, deeply grounded in the bedrock of my unbreakable promises, and you will stand in sheer, breathless awe as you finally watch my redemptive, miraculous power majestically sweep through your entire home. You will watch me effortlessly turn years of chaotic, painful division into magnificent, breathtaking, perfectly orchestrated divine order. Your heart is incredibly beautiful, precious, and utterly pure in my holy, penetrating sight. I see completely past the tough, defensive outer shell of exhaustion you wear. I see far past the jagged, ugly scars of old, painful betrayals and harsh words, and I look directly, deeply at the radiant, shining, untouched core of who you truly, originally are. You carry a deep, authentic, beautiful, God-given desire for pure goodness. You possess a genuine, desperate yearning for real, lasting peace and a profound, unmatched capacity for deep, unconditional love that reflects my own. Do not ever keep this beautiful, precious, shining heart hidden away in the dark, cold, isolating darkness of constant worry or the long, gloomy, bitter shadows of lingering resentment. It is time for you, right now, today, to boldly, confidently, and joyfully step out into the brilliant, warm light of my complete acceptance. I want you to intentionally, firmly, and decisively leave behind the gloomy, isolated, fearful caves of anxiety where you have sometimes retreated when the daily family battles became just too fierce and loud to handle. Stepping into my glorious, illuminating light means actively, forcefully choosing to believe in the absolute, concrete certainty of my promises, long before you ever see the physical, tangible, earthly manifestation of those promises in your everyday family dynamic. It means fully, unreservedly allowing my divine, bubbling joy to literally well up from the absolute deepest, most hidden, pristine well of your spirit. Completely and entirely, regardless of the chaotic, shifting circumstances swirling around you in your living room. When you fully, bravely embrace this supernatural, divine, logic-defying joy, something truly miraculous, undeniable, and beautiful happens to your physical being. I want to literally, physically let your face radiate with undeniable, blinding joy. I want the heavy, deep, etched lines of chronic, exhausting worry to be completely and permanently erased from your physical countenance. I want them beautifully, smoothly replaced by the glowing, unmistakable, deep, settled peace of a soul that absolutely, fundamentally knows it is fiercely loved, perfectly protected, and utterly victorious. When you physically walk through your home carrying this radiant, unshakable, profound joy, you will literally change the entire spiritual and emotional atmosphere of the physical house. Divine, authentic joy is profoundly, irresistibly, and wonderfully contagious. Heavenly, rooted peace is an undeniable, powerful, gravitational force. Your family members will look closely at you and see a brilliant, steady light they simply cannot comprehend. They will sense a quiet, majestic steadfastness they absolutely cannot explain, and it will draw them completely out of their own darkness. They will be magnetically, irresistibly drawn to the profound, comforting warmth of my presence resting so visibly and heavily upon you. You do not always need to preach to them with loud, persuasive words or theological arguments. Your quiet, steady life, completely illuminated by my love and totally, radically free from the heavy, dragging, metallic chains of anxiety, will absolutely be the most powerful, life-altering, undeniable sermon your family will ever witness in their entire lives. Your entirely transformed, deeply joyful heart will become the very powerful, unstoppable catalyst for the total, beautiful, miraculous transformation of your entire household. The pure, unadulterated, overflowing love that effortlessly flows out of your healed spirit will begin to slowly, gently, but inevitably melt the hardened, defensive, icy edges of those you cherish the absolute most in this world. Picture your beloved home exactly as I see it in its fully, beautifully, perfectly restored state. I want you to clearly, vividly imagine the specific rooms of your house filled with the light, joyful, musical sound of genuine, unburdened, belly-deep laughter, completely replacing the heavy, tense, suffocating silence of unresolved, bitter conflict. Imagine a welcoming, warm dining table where your loved ones eagerly, happily gather, absolutely not in defensive, guarded division, but in a profound, beautiful, unified, and relaxed harmony. This is absolutely not an impossible, foolish, childish dream. This is the concrete, guaranteed reality I am actively, meticulously, and powerfully constructing for you right now behind the invisible scenes of your daily life. I am meticulously, carefully, and lovingly putting the broken, scattered, sharp pieces of your complex family puzzle back together. I am creating a relational picture vastly more beautiful, deep, and resilient than the one that existed before the deep pain even began. The exhausting, terrible days of constantly walking on fragile eggshells, constantly fearing the next terrible, blown-out misunderstanding or the next sudden, irrational, angry outburst, are coming to a definitive, permanent, and glorious end. I am actively, right at this very moment, establishing a massive, impenetrable angelic fortress of perfect, divine peace completely around your physical household. The strong, high walls of this fortress will be my salvation, and the wide-open gates will be joyful, unhindered praise. Every single, solitary, bitter tear you have ever shed in absolute secret for your wandering, rebellious children, your distant, cold siblings, or your struggling, overwhelmed partner has been carefully, tenderly collected by my angels. They have been entirely turned into an incredibly powerful, rushing, unstoppable river of divine blessing that is just about to completely, overwhelmingly flood your home with unprecedented, shocking goodness. I sincerely, deeply want you to wake up every single morning from this day forward with this beautiful, victorious, heaven-sent vision firmly, immovably planted in the very forefront of your conscious mind. Do absolutely not, under any circumstances, let the current temporary flawed reality dictate your permanent, unshakable, eternal faith. Walk confidently, boldly through the familiar hallways of your house today, and silently, faithfully, powerfully bless every single room. Know with absolute, unwavering certainty that my Holy Spirit dwells right there with you in those rooms, fiercely, jealously, guarding your family's beautiful, destined future. The agonizing, drawn-out, painful period of desperate waiting is finally gloriously drawing to a spectacular close. The heavy, dark, suffocating spiritual winter that has deeply chilled the warm affection in your family is finally, decisively breaking. A magnificent, incredibly vibrant, warm spring of total generational restoration is beginning to beautifully, undeniably bloom right before your eyes. You will absolutely see the hardened, stubborn, stone-like hearts miraculously, softly melt. You will clearly, audibly hear the sincere, tearful apologies that you honestly thought would never ever be spoken in your lifetime. You will joyfully, overwhelmingly, witness the miraculous, beautiful return of those who have wandered so incredibly far away into the wilderness. The family love that once felt so strained, incredibly thin, and totally, utterly exhausted will be completely, permanently revitalized. It will flow with a massive, supernatural strength and a deep, beautiful, mutual understanding that can only come from heaven. This is the incredible, majestic, breathtaking reward for your faithful, tireless, unseen intercession. This is the beautiful, triumphant, final, glorious victory I have thoroughly, perfectly prepared for your entire family tree. The joy returning to your family is just the beginning. If your heart feels lighter, subscribe and like to keep walking with me. Because a profound spiritual expansion is approaching, I have been telling you, speaking directly and intimately to your spirit in the quietest, most vulnerable hours of your life, that you no longer have time for discouragement or retreat. The long, weary season for pulling back, for questioning your inherent worth, for shrinking away from the invisible spiritual battle line, is now permanently and decisively over. You are stepping into a profound, unprecedented era of divine acceleration, and I am calling you to step forward with a fierce, unwavering boldness you have never fully known before. I want you to visualize exactly how I see you from the high vantage point of the spiritual realm. You are absolutely not a fragile, hollow reed shaking violently and helplessly in the storm. You are like a sharp spearhead that cuts through the winds. A true, effective spearhead is not made of soft, pliable clay. It is meticulously forged in the hottest, most intense, roaring fires of the divine furnace. It is heavily hammered, intentionally shaped, and brilliantly sharpened on the hard, heavy anvil of life's greatest, most painful trials. Every single agonizing hardship you have bravely endured, every bitter tear you have shed in the suffocating darkness, every devastating moment you felt you were being completely broken beyond repair was actually the meticulous, loving, purposeful strike of the master blacksmith's hammer, forming you into a weapon of absolute precision, deadly accuracy, and unbreakable strength. The spearhead is the very first part of the weapon to make physical contact. It goes before everything else. It takes the absolute, brutal brunt of the heavy friction, the fierce resistance, and the violent, shattering impact. This profound reality is exactly why your life has felt so incredibly difficult, lonely, and painful at times. You are the one specifically, intentionally positioned at the very front of your bloodline, actively opening pathways to the land of blessings I will give you. You are the one breaking through the thick, hardened, oppressive spiritual atmosphere that has tragically held your family captive for decades. When you stubbornly, fiercely cut through the violent winds of generational adversity, you are absorbing the massive resistance so that those who come behind you, your precious children, your beloved grandchildren, and the countless generations yet unborn, will experience a clear, wide, unobstructed path to my grace and absolute freedom. You are the true pioneer. You are the fearless trailbreaker. The chaotic, roaring winds of the world howl against you, desperately trying to dull your fine edge, aggressively trying to knock you off your divine, ordained trajectory, but they absolutely cannot break the heavenly, indestructible steel from which you are now permanently made. You are masterfully designed to permanently pierce the darkest, most terrifying shadows. To fully, comprehensively grasp the staggering magnitude of this specific calling, I will expand your spiritual understanding. I am gently but firmly removing the restrictive earthly scales from your tired eyes so that you no longer look at your daily grueling struggles as mere random inconveniences or arbitrary cruel punishments. I deeply want you to see the grand, sweeping, majestic, eternal architecture of my grand plan for humanity and your specific, vital place within it. Every single trembling step you take in pure faith, every single moment you bravely choose to trust my promises instead of giving in to paralyzing, logical fear, creates a massive, unstoppable ripple effect throughout the corridors of time. I am miraculously expanding your limited vision so you finally realize that you are a parent of generations. You are absolutely not merely living this fleeting physical life for yourself. You are the foundational spiritual patriarch or matriarch of a completely new, radiant lineage of fierce faith. The quiet, desperate, tear-stained victories you secure in your private prayer closet today are the exact same massive, glorious victories your distant descendants will effortlessly walk in tomorrow. You are literally rewriting the spiritual fundamental DNA of your entire family tree. You are turning a long, tragic history of generational defeat into a permanent, beautiful legacy of absolute, unshakable triumph. Because you are doing this massive, foundational, underground, unseen work, do not be concerned if no one notices you today. The absolute most critical, vital part of any towering, magnificent, awe-inspiring building is its deep, hidden, buried foundation. The foundation is absolutely never celebrated by the passing crowds. It is never beautifully decorated or put on display. It is buried deep in the dark, cold earth, silently and continuously bearing the massive, crushing weight of the entire structure above it. You are that glorious, hidden foundation. You are the sharp spearhead doing the incredibly hard, invisible, thankless work. The superficial world loves to loudly applaud the flashy, the immediate, the loud, and the temporary. But the kingdom of heaven reserves its greatest, most thunderous, magnificent standing ovations exclusively for the quiet, steadfast, enduring pioneers who faithfully, relentlessly cut through the winds of adversity in absolute, unrecognized anonymity. When you feel entirely overlooked, totally unappreciated, or completely invisible to those around you, remember that the sovereign creator of the universe is watching you with immense, overwhelming, beaming pride. The vast angelic hosts of heaven are intimately, keenly aware of your incredible daily sacrifices. Do not ever measure your profound, eternal spiritual significance by the incredibly shallow, fleeting metrics of earthly recognition or human applause. The long, arduous journey of the true pioneer is inherently, unavoidably marked by heavy, sometimes brutal resistance. Therefore, I lovingly but firmly command you, do not be discouraged by the blows you receive, even if they hurt. A sharp spearhead that never strikes anything, that sits safely polished in a display case, remains completely unproven and ultimately useless. The emotional, physical, and spiritual blows that have heavily landed upon your life were maliciously meant by the enemy to completely destroy you, to make you permanently retreat into a dark, cold shell of bitter self-pity and paralyzing fear. But I have masterfully, sovereignly intercepted every single one of those intended, devastating blows and miraculously used them to further sharpen your spiritual edge to a razor-fine point. Yes, the blows hurt terribly, the unexpected betrayals sting deeply, the harsh rejections leave deep, aching, sensitive bruises on your weary soul. I absolutely do not minimize your genuine pain, nor do I ever ignore the heavy, exhausting toll it takes on your weary, beautiful heart. But I am fiercely, unequivocally promising you today that these blows are entirely incapable of shattering your divine destiny. They are merely the chaotic, desperate, dying thrashings of a completely defeated enemy who is absolutely terrified of the sharp, unstoppable spearhead you have become. You are aggressively, continuously piercing his kingdom of darkness, and his fierce, frantic resistance is the absolute greatest proof of your incredible, devastating effectiveness. As you confidently walk in this immense, newly discovered authority, I urge you with all my heart, do not squander the gifts and blessings I bestow upon you, for everything has a purpose. Every single hidden talent you possess, every sudden, unexplainable moment of profound peace, every unexpected financial provision, every supportive, loving relationship, these are the vital, necessary supplies I am constantly, carefully sending to the front lines to sustain my chosen champion. Treat them with profound, holy reverence. Use them deliberately and strategically to further cut through the howling winds, to aggressively and joyfully advance the radiant territory of light in your home, your workplace, and your community. Do not carelessly, casually throw away your precious, limited time on empty, draining, meaningless distractions that only serve to numb your sharp mind. Do not waste your deep emotional energy on petty, foolish battles I have absolutely not asked you to fight. I have everything under control, but your attitude matters. Your internal perspective is the very rudder that steers the massive ship of your life through these turbulent, dangerous waters. If you choose to maintain a toxic attitude of perpetual victimhood, if you constantly and bitterly complain about the harsh sharpness of the wind, you will needlessly blunt your own divine edge and severely slow your supernatural momentum. But if you bravely maintain an attitude of fierce, relentless, joyful, stubborn faith, you instantly become an unstoppable, blinding, magnificent force of nature. Your unyielding faith and your profound, genuine belief will elevate you to a higher level. I am absolutely not calling you to remain on the flat, dusty, crowded plains of ordinary, mundane, defeated existence. I am specifically calling you up to the high, rugged, breathtaking, sunlit peaks of supreme spiritual authority. This massive elevation inherently requires a deliberate shedding of all extra unnecessary weight. You must deliberately, permanently drop the heavy, suffocating baggage of past regrets, the tight, restricting cloak of chronic anxiety, and the paralyzing, heavy chains of people-pleasing. You simply cannot carry the heavy, fickle opinions of skeptical mortals to the high, pure altitude I am calling you to. As you bravely climb higher, the air certainly gets thinner, the path inevitably gets narrower, and the climb gets steeper. But your spiritual sight becomes infinitely, breathtakingly clearer. You will begin to look down and see your earthly circumstances exactly as I see them from my eternal throne, entirely temporary, easily conquerable, and perfectly, masterfully aligned for my ultimate glory and your ultimate good. You will no longer react emotionally or fearfully to the daily, sudden storms. You will simply and calmly command them to be still, absolutely knowing that the full, unlimited authority of heaven entirely backs your spoken words. To deeply maintain this incredible supernatural strength, to keep your spiritual edge razor sharp in the face of relentless, howling winds, you must actively, hungrily, and continuously feast on my word. Do not merely snack on my eternal promises when it is convenient. Do not just read a quick, familiar verse and rush out, unprepared, into the grueling daily battle. You must deliberately sit down at my lavish, banqueting table and devour the heavy, rich, nutrient-dense meat of my eternal, unchanging truth. My holy word is the divine, abrasive whetstone that constantly, effectively sharpens your mind against the dulling lies of the world. It is the supernatural, life-giving protein that miraculously rebuilds your exhausted, torn spiritual muscles after a long season of heavy warfare. When the desperate enemy loudly whispers insidious, terrifying lies about your inherent worth or your future destiny, you must immediately, violently strike back with the massive, unyielding, heavy sword of what I have explicitly, permanently written. Let my glorious promises marinate so deep within your subconscious mind until they naturally become your automatic, default, immediate response to absolutely every crisis, every piece of bad news, and every sudden challenge. When the fallen world screams that you are utterly failing, my word loudly, triumphantly declares that you are already more than a conqueror. I know, intimately and compassionately, that even the absolute strongest, sharpest, most resilient spearhead occasionally feels the immense, crushing, terrible weight of the incredibly long journey. There will inevitably be dark, heavy moments when the physical and emotional exhaustion seems entirely, utterly overwhelming, threatening to crush your spirit into the dust. In those specific, terribly heavy moments, when you feel weak, kneel down, and if you feel you can't go on, look to the sky. Kneeling is absolutely not a pathetic sign of surrender to the enemy. It is the ultimate, powerful, majestic posture of absolute surrender to your sovereign, invincible king. It is the tactical, intentional crouch of a seasoned warrior gathering explosive, supernatural, limitless strength for the next massive, victorious leap forward. When you lift your heavy head and look to the sky, you are deliberately lifting your weary gaze far above the chaotic, swirling, blinding dust of your immediate, earthly problems. You are powerfully reconnecting your tired, battered spirit with the limitless, eternal, breathtaking expanse of my heavenly kingdom. You are reminding your weary soul that you are absolutely not fighting desperately for victory. You are fighting confidently from a total, permanent victory that was completely secured long before you were even born. And as you look up to that vast, beautiful, endless sky, remember the most profound, staggering, beautiful mystery of all creation. I am there, and I also dwell in your heart. The very Creator who scattered 1 billion burning, massive stars across the endless black canvas of the universe, the omnipotent God who casually measures the deepest oceans in the hollow of his hand, has deliberately, specifically chosen to make his permanent, fiery, intimate residence right within your fragile, beating human chest. You are never, ever operating on your own limited, easily depleted human power. You are literally carrying the explosive, world-changing, undeniably holy presence of the Almighty everywhere you walk, into every room you enter, and into every situation you face. Because of this profound reality, my blessings are not distant, they are right before you. You do not have to cross endless, treacherous oceans or climb impossible, freezing mountains to miraculously find my favor. You do not have to perform exhausting, complex religious rituals to somehow earn my grace. My incredible blessings are intimately surrounding you right now, eagerly, expectantly, waiting for your eyes of faith to finally open and clearly, joyfully recognize them. They are intricately, beautifully woven into the very fabric of your everyday life, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the pioneer to claim them. Now we boldly approach the grand, final, magnificent culmination of your incredible pioneer journey. You have faithfully, stubbornly, relentlessly cut through the fierce, howling winds. You have bravely, quietly absorbed the painful, staggering blows. You have deeply, hungrily feasted on my word and fiercely, jealously protected your attitude from the poison of bitterness. You have boldly, decisively stepped into your monumental role as a parent of generations. Because you have faithfully done all of this, you are now completely spiritually equipped to directly face the absolute greatest, most imposing, terrifying obstacle of your entire life. Your salvation is at hand, your mountain of problems will crumble. This is absolutely not a poetic metaphor for a gradual, slow, years-long erosion. This is a concrete, ironclad promise of a sudden, catastrophic, magnificent, breathtaking collapse. That massive, terrifying, imposing mountain of crushing financial debt, of lingering chronic illness, of dark generational addiction, of deeply rooted, bitter family division, that ugly, stubborn mountain that has mockingly stood in your way for years, constantly casting a long, dark, depressing shadow over your joy, is about to be completely, utterly, violently obliterated before your very eyes. When a sharp, divinely forged spearhead, moving at the absolute, unstoppable, incredible velocity of heaven's supreme mandate, forcefully strikes a mountain, the mountain absolutely does not stand a single chance of surviving. You are going to watch, with breathless, wide-eyed, absolute awe, as the impossible, unmovable, deeply entrenched structures in your life suddenly turn to fine, powdery dust and blow completely away in the gentle wind. The incredibly complex, deeply tangled, agonizing situations that you have spent countless, sleepless, weeping nights desperately trying to figure out will be miraculously, instantly, effortlessly resolved by a single, powerful, invisible breath from my mouth. The massive, heavy iron doors of incredible opportunity that have been stubbornly, heavily bolted shut against you will forcefully, violently blow wide open, completely off their rusted hinges. I am absolutely not just going to carefully, slowly move the mountain slightly out of your way. I am going to completely, permanently annihilate it so that there is absolutely no trace of it left to ever threaten your peace, block your path, or intimidate your family again. You must deeply understand the absolute, undeniable, eternal finality of what is happening right now in the unseen spiritual realm. Your enemies have been defeated. The dark, sinister spiritual forces that relentlessly, obsessively plotted your downfall, that gleefully celebrated your darkest moments of intense suffering, and that aggressively, constantly tried to sabotage your grand destiny, have been entirely, comprehensively stripped of all their power and authority over your life. They are completely disarmed, permanently disgraced, and totally, utterly vanquished beneath your feet. You are boldly walking into a vast, expansive, breathtakingly beautiful new season of unhindered, glorious, profound peace. The relentless, exhausting daily warfare that has heavily defined your existence for so long is finally, decisively, and permanently over. You can confidently, safely drop your tense, defensive posture. You can finally take off the heavy, battered, exhausted armor of constant vigilance and joyfully put on the beautiful, flowing, majestic, radiant garments of total, absolute praise. As you stand triumphantly on the precipice of this massive, life-altering, generational breakthrough, looking directly at the crumbling, fading dust of your former terrifying problems, I have a single, profoundly important, piercing question for your heart. I am asking you to search the absolute deepest, most authentic, hidden depths of your weary soul right now. Now answer me, do you believe, and do you love me? This is absolutely not a cold test of your theological knowledge or a rigid examination of your religious perfection. This is a deeply intimate, piercing, vulnerable question about the true, fundamental, burning nature of our relationship. Do you truly, fully believe that I am exactly who I repeatedly say I am? Do you genuinely, unreservedly believe that my eternal promises are infinitely more real, more solid, and more enduring than the temporary, shifting, chaotic circumstances of your physical life? And most importantly, above all else, do you love me? Do you love me not just for the incredible, abundant blessings I hold in my generous hand, but for the unfathomable, beautiful, perfect, compassionate nature of my heart? Upon receiving your response, I will perform a great miracle in you. Your sincere, raw, unfiltered, passionate declaration of profound love and unshakable, stubborn belief is the very spark that instantly ignites the explosive, miraculous, limit-shattering power of heaven directly within your life. When you look up to the endless sky, with warm tears of overwhelming gratitude freely streaming down your face, and whisper from the depths of your being, "Yes, Lord, I believe and I love you with absolutely everything I have," you instantaneously unlock the absolute highest, most glorious dimensions of my presence. The profound miracle I am about to perform is not just happening around you in your external circumstances, it is happening profoundly, deeply, and permanently in you. I am going to miraculously, completely, and permanently transform your entire internal emotional landscape. I am going to completely, tenderly heal the hidden, bleeding, silent traumas you have never spoken about to anyone. I am going to totally, beautifully restore the youthful, vibrant, fearless, burning passion for life that the long years of grinding hardship tried to slowly, cruelly steal from you. Consider the staggering magnitude of what you have accomplished by simply, stubbornly refusing to surrender. When you stood firm in the face of agonizing, overwhelming despair, you did not just save yourself. You powerfully threw a massive, unbreakable lifeline across the terrifying abyss of time, providing safe, guaranteed, joyful passage for your great-grandchildren. They will boldly sing joyous, triumphant songs of absolute freedom in the bright days to come, completely unaware that the beautiful, soaring melody was fiercely, quietly written by your silent, faithful tears today. This is the staggering, incomprehensible, majestic weight of the spiritual horizon I am expanding before you. You are absolutely not a minor, insignificant, forgotten character in the grand, sweeping story of humanity. You are a central, pivotal, history-making, powerful force of my divine will. The spearhead has finally, violently pierced the thick veil of darkness, allowing the blinding, pure, radiant, healing light of heaven to permanently flood into the earthly timeline of your entire family. Never again will you look at your tired reflection in the mirror and see a defeated, exhausted, worn out, pathetic victim of life's cruel, random circumstances. When you look deeply into your own eyes from this spectacular day forward, you will clearly, undeniably, and proudly see the fierce, blazing, majestic reflection of a glorious conqueror. You will see the incredibly sharp, perfectly tempered, indestructible, shining steel of a seasoned warrior who has successfully, bravely navigated the darkest, most terrifying valleys and miraculously emerged on the highest, sunlit, breathtaking peaks of absolute eternal victory. The crushing, intimidating mountain of problems that used to completely dictate your mood, control your finances, and terrorize your sleep is now nothing more than fine, harmless, blowing dust swirling playfully around your victorious feet. The defeated, humiliated enemies who once loudly, arrogantly mocked your steadfast faith are now entirely silenced, forced by heavenly mandate to watch in absolute agonizing defeat as I prepare a magnificent, overflowing, lavish table of endless blessings for you right in their very presence. This is the profound, beautiful, breathtaking, permanent reality of your new spiritual elevation. You have faithfully feasted on my word until it became your very flesh, your very blood, and the absolute core of your unshakable identity. You have knelt in agonizing, desperate weakness and found yourself instantly infused with the limitless roaring power of the cosmos. You have looked to the beautiful sky and realized that the infinite, burning, passionate love of the Creator is intimately, permanently, and joyfully dwelling within the fragile beating of your own beautiful heart. Everything is completely, entirely, miraculously, perfectly under my sovereign control, and your attitude of relentless, stubborn, beautiful faith has successfully unlocked the highest, most glorious, unimaginable levels of my divine favor. The profound, expansive spiritual understanding you now possess makes you completely, entirely immune to the petty, shallow, temporary discouragements of this fleeting world. You are fiercely, singularly focused on the eternal, the magnificent, and the divine. Take one final, incredibly deep cleansing breath of this pure, elevated heavenly air. Feel the warm, radiant, golden, healing light of my overwhelming approval completely washing over your mind, permanently erasing every single lingering shadow of doubt, fear, anxiety, or insecurity. You are entirely ready. You have been perfectly forged. You have been brilliantly sharpened. You have been beautifully positioned. The pathways to the glorious land of immense, overflowing, unimaginable blessings are now completely, permanently wide open before you, and absolutely nothing in the heavens, on the earth, or under the earth can ever, ever close them again. Step boldly, confidently, and joyfully into the magnificent, breathtaking, spectacular destiny I have perfectly prepared exclusively for you since the very foundation of the world. Your legacy is secured. If you believe in this destiny, hit subscribe and like to stay with my voice. Now listen closely, for there are 3 essential steps you must take today. Here are 3 things you must do today to calm your soul and completely banish the heavy, suffocating anxiety that has tried to steal your joy. I want you to listen carefully, tuning out every other demanding voice in your life, and let these sacred, healing words resonate deeply within your soul throughout the entire day, bringing you an unshakable, profound peace. The journey we are undertaking right now requires your absolute, undivided attention, for what I am asking of you is the very master key to the spiritual freedom you have been desperately seeking for years. The immense, crushing burdens you have been carrying are a direct result of attempting to manage the complex, unpredictable universe of your life on your own limited human strength. Today, we begin the beautiful, miraculous process of laying those heavy burdens down permanently, never to pick them up again. Firstly, I am asking for the most precious thing you possess. Give me your heart completely and sincerely, without any hidden reservations or lingering fear. This is the fundamental bedrock upon which all your future blessings will be meticulously built. Complete, unconditional surrender is absolutely not a sign of spiritual weakness. It is the ultimate, most courageous act of profound trust a human soul can ever make. It means actively opening the tight grip you have kept on your future, your finances, your intricate family relationships, and your secret desires, and placing them gently into my sovereign hands. I know that the concept of total surrender can sometimes feel incredibly frightening to a mind deeply bruised by the unreliability of this broken world. The fallen world has relentlessly taught you to build high, thick walls, to protect yourself, to always maintain a backup plan, and to never give anyone absolute control over your emotional well-being. But you must remember that I am not like the frail, failing people who have bitterly disappointed you in the past. My fundamental, unchangeable, eternal purpose is to graciously grant you eternal life and true, lasting happiness. I have never, ever intended to inflict harsh, arbitrary punishments or to orchestrate cruel, unnecessary trials upon you simply to cause you pain. That is a malicious, toxic lie whispered by the enemy of your soul to keep you isolated, defensive, and deeply afraid of my loving embrace. My thoughts toward you are inherently, perfectly pure. My specific, detailed plans for you are exclusively geared toward your ultimate prosperity and magnificent blessings, meticulously designed to give you an abundant, overflowing life filled with gentle love and meticulous, continuous care. I want to lavish my goodness upon you, but my blessings can only fully flow into a vessel that has been completely emptied of its own stubborn pride and self-reliance. To fully experience this majestic, overflowing abundance, you must completely and definitively let go of the exhausting, heavy illusion of control. I ask that you surrender your heart to me, spiritually kneeling before my heavenly throne with a genuine, humble, and total willingness to do my perfect will. This vital posture of the heart requires a daily, intentional, fierce commitment to actively nourish your tired spirit with my eternal word and to stubbornly trust me wholeheartedly, even when the path ahead seems completely obscured by the thick, confusing fog of uncertainty. Human nature desperately wants to maintain just a tiny, hidden reserve of control, a small, guarded corner of the heart where faith is not required and human logic still fiercely reigns. Yet, I must warn you with the utmost tenderness and unwavering truth. If you choose to offer me your heart only partially, or only on the bright days when it perfectly suits your mood and earthly circumstances, your faith will entirely lack a solid, reliable foundation. A divided heart is a deeply restless, utterly exhausted heart. When you try to simultaneously hold my hand and rigidly control your own destiny, you violently tear your own fragile spirit in two. Without complete surrender, your life will inevitably be violently tossed about by the chaotic waves when sudden, unexpected storms come. Your internal thoughts and delicate, sensitive emotions will constantly run amok, completely untethered from my anchoring divine truth. You will continuously, miserably experience exhausting, dizzying highs when things go well, and devastating, paralyzing lows when circumstances suddenly shift. I deeply, passionately do not want this chaotic, draining, miserable existence for you. You were created for a majestic, serene stability that completely transcends human logic. When you finally decide to give me your heart completely, withholding absolutely nothing, a miraculous, sweeping transformation occurs within the absolute deepest core of your being. Doubts may still occasionally come and go, trying to knock softly at the door of your mind, and significant, difficult, earthly challenges may indeed arise in your daily life, but my written, eternal word will become the heavy, immovable anchor of your faith. This divine, indestructible anchor will continuously provide the supernatural strength you need to bravely and steadily persevere through absolutely any situation that arises. When the violent, howling winds of economic uncertainty blow against your household, your anchor will firmly hold. When the bitter, dark storms of interpersonal conflict suddenly rage within your family, your anchor will hold. You will absolutely no longer be a helpless, fearful victim of your own fluctuating emotions or the unpredictable, harsh actions of those around you. You will be a firmly planted, deeply rooted, flourishing tree of righteousness, constantly drawing your endless vitality directly from the pure, unseen, flowing river of my Holy Spirit. I am asking you today to finally stop living in the exhausting, turbulent shallows of partial faith and to boldly dive into the profound, peaceful depths of total, unreserved trust. I ask that you give me your heart entirely and fiercely maintain an unwavering, steadfast loyalty and faith that absolutely refuses to be moved by the frightening illusions of the visible world. This is the only guaranteed pathway to the profound serenity you crave. The emotional energy you have spent desperately trying to hold all the fragile pieces of your life together has left you physically exhausted and spiritually starved. When you completely surrender, you are not giving up your life. You are finally handing it over to the only one who knows exactly how to make it radiantly beautiful. Yielding is not a loss of power, but the miraculous acquisition of heaven's limitless authority. The moment you stop fighting me for control is the exact moment my supernatural peace permanently floods your weary soul. Decide right now, in this sacred, quiet moment, to entirely surrender your life for eternity. This is the single most important decision you will ever make, and it is a beautiful decision that must be joyfully renewed with the breaking of every sunrise. When you make this absolute commitment, the entire perspective of your earthly timeline miraculously shifts. Each passing day will absolutely not be viewed with creeping sadness as one less day of your fleeting life, but will be truly celebrated as one more beautiful, victorious day, because you will know with ironclad certainty that you will be with me forever. You are no longer racing anxiously against the relentless clock of human mortality. You are leisurely, peacefully walking into an endless, radiant forever. Because of this complete surrender, you will be continuously experiencing the incredible, breathtaking wonders of the universe that I have specifically and lavishly prepared for those who truly love me. When your heart is entirely, exclusively mine, the very lenses through which you view the world are miraculously cleansed. Everything you look at will be more beautiful and profoundly better than you can possibly imagine. The mundane, ordinary, seemingly insignificant moments of your daily life will suddenly be infused with a rich, glowing, divine, eternal purpose. The heavy, gray veil of chronic anxiety will be permanently lifted, allowing the brilliant, warm colors of my grace to completely saturate your vision. You will wake up not with a heavy sigh of dread, but with a deep, silent thrill of anticipation, absolutely knowing that the sovereign Lord of all creation is intimately involved in the smallest details of your day. Because you have bravely placed your complete trust in my unfailing character, you will continuously receive countless, overflowing blessings that you could never have orchestrated or earned on your own. You will deeply, genuinely enjoy a harmonious, peaceful family life, and when inevitable misunderstandings occur, you will easily possess the supernatural grace and profound wisdom to face all challenges together in perfect unity. The divine angelic protection over your fully surrendered life is absolute and completely guaranteed. My rich, massive blessings will undoubtedly reach you, and those unseen spiritual forces who maliciously seek to harm you will instantly, violently flee in sheer terror from the blinding light of my presence permanently resting upon you. You absolutely do not have to fight these exhausting battles in your own limited strength anymore. Your total, absolute surrender is your ultimate, impenetrable shield against every single attack of the enemy. The magnificent reward for those who faithfully, completely follow me is an eternal, glorious victory which has already been permanently secured by my own mighty hand on your behalf. The spiritual war has already been definitively won. The impossible debt has been paid. The bright, prosperous future has already been flawlessly written in the courts of heaven. Your only part, your single vital responsibility in this grand eternal covenant is to simply give me your beautiful heart, your unwavering faith, and your steadfast loyalty. I deeply, passionately ask you to do this today, without another moment of hesitation, doubt, or paralyzing fear. Let go of the heavy reins, my beloved child. Breathe out the toxic air of frantic self-reliance and breathe in the pure, perfect peace of total divine surrender. You are entirely, eternally safe in my strong arms. Nothing in this physical world or in the unseen realm can ever pluck you out of my grasp once you have yielded your will to mine. With your heart firmly in my hands, there is a second key you must turn to unlock the floodgates of heaven. Secondly, I ask you to engage in a profound, radical act of the Spirit. I want you to raise your hands toward heaven right now if you can, or simply close your tired eyes and dedicate some intentional, unbroken time in absolute silence to offer heartfelt, overwhelming gratitude. This is absolutely not a superficial exercise in positive thinking. This is a powerful, spiritual weapon that completely alters the invisible atmosphere of your home. Compile a detailed list of your blessings. Name the specific, glorious things you are experiencing right now, the magnificent things you are expectantly waiting to arrive in your future, as well as those massive rescues and divine provisions you have already safely received in the past. Do not ever overlook the tiny, beautiful details of your existence. Include even the seemingly small, everyday things that seamlessly give you strength and purpose. The simple provisions that you so easily take for granted when your mind is heavily burdened with chaotic worry. Express this gratitude sincerely, letting it flow from the depths of your being. I know perfectly well there are specific days when the heavy clouds of sorrow are so incredibly thick that you feel entirely barren and completely empty. On those terribly difficult, draining days, even if you genuinely believe you have absolutely no current blessings to speak of, I want you to boldly give thanks for your very ability to give thanks. Merely having the gentle breath in your lungs to whisper a fragile word of praise is a profound, breathtaking miracle in itself. This deliberate, stubborn act of thanksgiving will bring immediate, profound, soothing healing directly to your bruised soul. It acts as a divine, supernatural remedy, gently but firmly removing the heavy, dark blindfold of self-pity, resentment, and fear that so often obscures your true spiritual vision. When you are consumed by intense anxiety, that thick, suffocating blindfold convinces you that you are entirely alone, completely forgotten, and utterly destitute. But the very second you boldly choose gratitude, that dark blindfold falls uselessly to the floor. Suddenly, the vast horizon will open wide before your eyes, clearly revealing the many, countless blessings that have already miraculously reached you and completely surrounded you on every side. You will clearly see that even in your absolute hardest, darkest seasons. My sovereign grace has been actively sustaining your physical life and continuously providing you with profound, undeniable reasons to bravely continue and to fiercely fight. These hidden daily blessings are the very things that seamlessly give you the vital, supernatural strength to successfully rise each morning and stubbornly persevere through the intense friction of this fallen world. Heavy challenges and exhausting, draining struggles may certainly be present in your current, everyday reality. But if you look closely through the clarified, pure, crystal lens of gratitude, you will clearly see the deep, invaluable wisdom and the profound, beautiful spiritual growth you have successfully gained through each painful experience, and exactly how your resilient faith has miraculously blossomed into something truly unbreakable. Now, I want you to explicitly express that immense gratitude directly to me. Speak it aloud right now, in the quiet sanctuary of your room. Let me hear your unique, beautiful voice and your sincere, unscripted, passionate words. Give deep, resonant thanks for the magnificent, fragile gift of life, for the very air you breathe into your expanding lungs, for the miraculous beating of your heart, and for the family that I have sovereignly, purposefully placed around you. I even ask you to radically give thanks for your current pressing circumstances, even if they are currently not exactly as you desperately wish them to be. This gratitude permanently shatters the heavy chains of bitterness. Give thanks with a wide, open, entirely expectant heart, because very soon I will provide clear, undeniable, brilliant guidance on your path. I will miraculously reveal entirely new maps and gently, precisely correct your wandering routes to perfectly help you reach your ultimate, glorious, ordained destination. But for right now, I need you to be profoundly, beautifully thankful exactly here and exactly now, in this very specific, wonderfully imperfect moment. I want you to boldly, fiercely be thankful even when your fragile soul weeps bitter, burning tears of deep frustration. Be deeply, abundantly, overwhelmingly grateful when you are joyful, and be just as stubbornly, fiercely grateful when your heavy heart fiercely aches with terrible disappointment. I am specifically asking you to radically give thanks for the incredibly painful challenges, the crushing, temporary human failures, and the bitter, exhausting trials you have bravely endured. Those trials absolutely did not destroy you. They masterfully, beautifully sculpted you into the radiant, seasoned warrior you are today. I want you to walk directly over to the mirror, look deeply and unflinchingly at your own reflection, and bravely thank yourself for not giving up. Thank your own resilient spirit for enduring the heavy, unexpected blows and for remaining fiercely, stubbornly anchored in my unfailing love. This specific, radical, unwavering attitude of gratitude is unimaginably, explosively powerful, and because of it, starting this very day, you will begin to visibly, undeniably witness massive miracles and incredibly significant, sweeping changes in your daily life. Lastly, we arrive at the third essential magnificent mandate for your total spiritual liberation. I command you to take this overwhelming, overflowing, brilliant light and deliberately, generously share these words with others. You are entirely surrounded by a hurting world that is quietly, desperately bleeding behind closed doors. So many people walking right past you every single day may outwardly appear perfectly content, wearing beautifully painted, flawless masks of earthly success and emotional stability. But their hidden, fragile souls carry immense, suffocating suffering, and they secretly teeter on the dangerous, jagged edge of absolute despair. Behind their polite, forced, everyday smiles, they are drowning in a dark, cold sea of unspoken anxieties, heavy financial burdens, and silently failing relationships. They may desperately struggle in the lonely, terrifying darkness of midnight to find a true, meaningful, solid reason to even continue living. They are entirely, completely starved for the exact same unconditional, fierce, healing love that is currently flooding your restored heart. You absolutely cannot keep this magnificent, life-saving, heavenly treasure safely locked away in the private, comfortable sanctuary of your own mind. You are my highly chosen, specifically anointed ambassador of glorious hope. I need you to intentionally go out into your local community, into your busy workplace, and into the complex dynamics of your extended family, and boldly, unashamedly reveal this incredible, breathtaking miracle of love that is currently happening deep within your restored heart. Open your mouth, and generously, joyfully share the profound supernatural happiness that now completely, undeniably fills you. Tell them about the overwhelming, undeniable, miraculous goodness that my heavy, comforting, protecting presence can instantly bring to their shattered, chaotic, terrified lives. You do not ever need to be a polished theologian or an eloquent, trained speaker. You simply need to be a totally authentic, raw, and fiercely honest witness to the magnificent, impossible rescues I have actively performed in your own deeply personal story. Your genuine, unapologetic vulnerability will become the very strong, illuminated bridge they eagerly walk across to finally find my eternal, waiting grace. As you selflessly, continuously pour out this radiant, healing love upon the broken, hurting people around you, a spectacular, massive spiritual transaction instantly takes place in the heavenly realms. As you generously, freely share love, I will comprehensively, powerfully envelop you with an even deeper, impenetrable peace, a beautiful, sweeping harmony, and a massive, unstoppable wave of prosperity and overflowing blessings, permanently leaving you completely free from any lingering, toxic anxiety or the heavy, crushing, suffocating burden of financial debt. The more you freely, joyfully give away the pure, living water of my eternal truth, the more abundantly and fiercely I will fill your own physical and spiritual vessel to the exact point of magnificent, joyful overflowing. Your immediate, willing obedience in sharing this brilliant light creates a massive, impenetrable, angelic shield of divine favor entirely around your physical household and completely secures your future endeavors from the malicious attacks of the enemy. Now I must deeply prepare you for the unfortunate reality of the fallen world's immediate reaction, when you courageously step out in bold, radiant faith to speak of my goodness, your pure, well-intentioned actions may sometimes be met with cruel, mocking, dismissive laughter. The cynical, hardened, terrified world often arrogantly scoffs at the very medicine it desperately needs to survive. People trapped in their own bitter, comfortable darkness may attempt to maliciously belittle your joy, or roll their eyes at your profound, beautiful declarations of faith. Do absolutely not, for a single moment, let their shallow, defensive mockery deter you or intimidate your spirit into a cowardly, silent retreat. Hear me clearly, and remember this eternal truth. Even as their lips form harsh words of arrogant laughter, the secret, hidden, desperate hearts of those who hear you will violently, desperately ache. Their souls instantly recognize the pure, ringing, undeniable frequency of eternal truth, even if their proud, terrified human minds violently, aggressively reject it. They are in absolutely desperate, critical need of exactly what you have finally, beautifully found. They are wandering through a cold, unforgiving wasteland, and they desperately need to fundamentally know they are truly, fiercely loved and eternally, permanently cherished. They need to definitively know that there is a sovereign, deeply compassionate God who perfectly knows their name, who intimately understands their hidden pain, and who cares deeply about their secret tears. Therefore, you must confidently, continuously, and joyfully spread this magnificent message of hope and unconditional love wherever your feet may take you. Let your very presence in a crowded room completely, undeniably shift the spiritual atmosphere from heavy darkness to brilliant light. Let your gentle, encouraging, spirit-filled words be a soothing, miraculous healing balm to the deep, festering wounds of the forgotten, the broken, and the marginalized. You are carrying the absolute ultimate, heaven-sent cure for the crushing, devastating loneliness that violently plagues this entire hurting generation. When you actively practice these three mandates, when you completely and utterly surrender your heart to my sovereign control, When you radically remove the heavy blindfold of self-pity through profound, relentless gratitude, and when you boldly, courageously share the radiant light of my love with the secretly suffering world, you permanently lock the heavy iron doors against the dark, whispering spirits of anxiety, fear, and depression. You establish an unbreakable, magnificent rhythm of divine peace that absolutely nothing in this turbulent, chaotic, shifting world can ever disrupt. This is not merely a temporary emotional uplift. This is a permanent, monumental paradigm shift in exactly how you interact with the entire created universe. You are stepping into your majestic identity as a spiritually mature child of the Most High God, fully equipped, heavily armored, and entirely overflowing with the unshakable peace of heaven. As you share this radiant light, a miraculous transformation occurs deep within you. As you finally wake from yesterday's sorrow, I want you to deeply and fundamentally understand that I heard the exact, fragile, desperate prayer you whispered just before falling asleep last night. In the quiet, isolating, and often terrifying darkness of your room, I was standing right beside you, a silent, comforting guardian, and I saw exactly how the heavy, silent tears of overwhelming exhaustion dampened your pillow as you pleaded, with every last ounce of your drained energy, for the courage, the supernatural strength, the profound peace, and the absolute assurance you so desperately need just to face the relentless, exhausting challenges of your daily life. The night can sometimes feel so incredibly isolating, acting as a heavy, suffocating, dark blanket that cruelly magnifies every single fear and loudly amplifies every hidden, quiet insecurity you carry in your chest. I intimately watched over you as your anxious mind raced uncontrollably through 1,000 terrifying worst-case scenarios, desperately, frantically trying to figure out exactly how you were going to, physically and emotionally survive the mounting, crushing pressures that seemed to be completely closing in on you from every possible side. You felt the immense, terrifying, crushing weight of the entire world resting squarely and painfully upon your fragile shoulders, and in that solitary, desperate midnight hour, you honestly and truly felt that your emotional and physical strength was completely, utterly, and finally depleted. You poured out your vulnerable, bruised, and aching heart to me in the darkness, holding absolutely nothing back, completely stripping away any false pretense of having it all perfectly together or being entirely unbroken. I want you to know today, with absolute, unwavering, ironclad certainty, that your silent, bitter tears were absolutely not ignored, and your desperate, whispered pleas did not simply vanish into the empty, cold, silent air of your bedroom. Every single trembling teardrop was meticulously, tenderly collected by my angels, and every single broken, fearful word you spoke went straight like an arrow to the very core of my compassionate, eternal, and fiercely protective heart. I absolutely did not judge you for your momentary, very human feelings of profound weakness or your overwhelming, paralyzing sense of absolute despair. Instead, I gently wrapped my invisible, warm, comforting presence tightly around your resting form, keeping a fierce, jealous, and angelic watch over your deeply troubled mind as you finally, inevitably surrendered to heavy physical exhaustion. The sinister darkness of that incredibly difficult night was never, ever allowed to completely consume your spirit, because I was standing right there as your ultimate, impenetrable, and blazing shield, fiercely guarding your delicate soul while your weary body finally rested. Look closely at yourself right now as you slowly and deliberately awaken to a brand new, magnificent, and entirely different day. A day that is entirely filled with a sudden, unshakable determination and a profound, roaring, supernatural strength. The heavy, suffocating, toxic atmosphere of yesterday's deep sorrow and paralyzing anxiety has been completely, permanently, and violently broken by the radiant, golden, healing light of my unfailing grace and endless mercy. You are absolutely no longer weak, and you are entirely no longer disheartened by the deeply intimidating, complex circumstances currently surrounding you. During those quiet, vulnerable hours of the night, while you slept securely under the massive shadow of my protective wings, I miraculously and powerfully infused your weary soul with the bold, fierce, roaring courage of a seasoned, victorious warrior, perfectly and entirely equipping you to boldly face absolutely any terrifying giant that dares to cross your ordained path today. Where there was once crippling, paralyzing, icy fear completely dominating your every thought, you now possess a radiant, invincible, and unyielding faith that absolutely refuses to be intimidated by the empty threats of the enemy. Where there was once agonizing, confusing, and dizzying uncertainty about your fragile future, you now possess a fierce, unshakable, and deeply rooted resolve that is permanently anchored in my eternal, unchanging promises. Yesterday, your physical legs may have actually trembled at the mere terrifying thought of impending, unavoidable adversity, and your heart may have painfully skipped a beat in sheer, sudden terror. But today, you stand incredibly steadfast, solidly and immovably planted on the eternal rock of my word, entirely ready and completely willing to conquer absolutely any obstacle that the fallen world foolishly attempts to place in your way. I command you to boldly rise up right now, throw off the heavy blankets of lingering doubt, and purposefully move forward with absolute, unshakable confidence, for I have deliberately, intentionally, and specifically placed within your newly awakened spirit a burning, fervent, and completely unstoppable desire to triumph against all logical earthly odds. You are absolutely not meant to merely survive or barely scrape through the brutal, daily, exhausting struggles of this harsh, fallen world. You are explicitly, divinely destined to completely, utterly, and majestically conquer them. Trust entirely and without a single reservation in my limitless, sovereign, and magnificent power, for I deliberately brought you to this very specific, crucial moment in your life because, far beyond merely guiding your hesitant, unsure steps, I have comprehensively, powerfully, and permanently equipped you with the exact supernatural strength required to boldly confront and decisively overcome any challenge that could ever possibly arise against you. While the massive, intimidating hurdles standing before you right now may indeed appear incredibly great and entirely insurmountable to your limited, fearful human eyes, you must constantly and aggressively remember that absolutely nothing in this entire vast universe surpasses or even rivals my sovereign, majestic, and terrifying power. The terrifying giants of financial opposition, relational conflict, and personal insecurity that loudly and arrogantly mock you are absolutely nothing but temporary, fragile illusions, completely and utterly powerless against the limitless, rushing force of my divine will actively operating within your daily life. I brought you exactly here, to this specific point of beautiful revelation, and I fiercely, solemnly promise that I will permanently, steadfastly remain by your side in all your daily struggles, in all your exhausting battles, and in all your prolonged, fierce spiritual wars. You are vastly, infinitely more than a conqueror through the overwhelming, undeniable reality of my unfailing love and my limitless sustaining strength. You must begin to recognize and firmly believe that every single adversary, every single obstacle, and every single terrifying threat that arrogantly arises against you does so for one specific, inevitable, and glorious purpose: to be completely, utterly, and publicly vanquished beneath your feet by the glorious power of my Holy Spirit resting heavily upon you. I have deeply, permanently instilled in you the exact, unwavering resolve and the precise, unbreakable determination required to successfully overcome any complex conflict, no matter how deeply entrenched or impossibly complicated it may currently seem to your weary mind. Whatever your grandest, most beautiful aspirations may be, and whatever terrifying, Imposing obstacles currently lie ahead on your long journey. I assure you with absolute divine certainty that you will prosper magnificently and undeniably in absolutely all your righteous endeavors. My eternal spoken word possesses the absolute, undisputed, and miraculous power to completely heal every single broken, bleeding area of your entire existence. The supernatural, life-giving, rushing force that constantly flows from my spoken words is entirely, abundantly sufficient to give you vibrant, abundant life and to powerfully, gently lift you up from the darkest, deepest, most terrifying pits of absolute despair. I know that you may sometimes feel entirely, fundamentally unworthy for me to intimately enter the messy, complicated, and often shameful realities of your daily life. You look at your past mistakes, your lingering flaws, and your frequent moments of human failure, and the enemy loudly whispers that I could never truly desire to dwell with someone so imperfect. But I lovingly, fiercely assure you today that your incredibly resilient faith, your beautiful, quiet tears of repentance, and your beautifully humble attitude have completely, undeniably captured my divine, undivided attention. I deeply, passionately desire to enter not only the practical, everyday circumstances of your life, but to permanently, intimately reside in the absolute deepest, most vulnerable, and most guarded chambers of your heart as well. Right there, in the very core of your sensitive being, I will permanently inscribe profound, glowing words of heavenly healing, and with a gentle, loving, compassionate touch of my omnipotent hand, I will violently and permanently break the heavy, restrictive, cold chains of trauma and fear that have stubbornly bound you for so many exhausting, painful years. Your lingering, aching pain, your deepest, most paralyzing fears, your most private, terrifying anxieties, and your most complex, exhausting troubles will instantly, violently flee in absolute, undeniable terror. For even the highest, infinite heavens and the deepest, darkest oceans must immediately, unconditionally heed the sound of my sovereign, majestic voice. I am purposefully speaking to you today with absolute, crystal clear, unmistakable clarity, because I deeply, passionately desire to personally witness your genuine, radiant happiness, your profound, unshakable inner peace, and the ironclad, beautiful assurance of a phenomenally bright, incredibly prosperous, and completely secure future. When you deliberately choose to spend this precious, quiet, and holy time with me, when you tune out the frantic noise of the world to simply listen to my voice, you offer me the beautiful, incredible opportunity to spiritually and powerfully embrace you. You give me the space to constantly assure you of my undeniable, concrete realness, to physically and emotionally demonstrate my profound, unconditional, and fierce love, and to provide my absolute, impenetrable, and angelic protection from absolutely all earthly and spiritual harm. This magnificent, unshakable security, this total peace of mind, is the very inheritance I so eagerly, desperately long to fully bestow upon you right now. I ask that you believe in me wholeheartedly, with every single fiber of your being, and joyfully, expectantly accept this divine inheritance without a single lingering ounce of hesitation or doubt. Your supernatural warrior strength is already fully prepared, forged in the fires of heaven, and eagerly waiting for you to boldly rely on it, waiting for you to be completely, warmly clothed in the heavy, beautiful armor of my perfect love, and to be radically, fundamentally, and permanently transformed by the healing, miraculous, and transformative touch of my Holy Spirit. Now, I command you to stand up tall, square your tired shoulders, and purposefully move forward into your day, completely equipped and heavily armed with the absolute, unstoppable power of my Holy Spirit. When you inevitably encounter unexpected challenges, fierce opposition, or sudden storms, absolutely no one and nothing will be able to overcome you. You are entirely, fundamentally not weak. You are incredibly, terrifyingly strong, possessing my boundless, fiery love and an unwavering, unshakable faith that can easily, effortlessly move massive mountains into the sea. Always remember this vital, unchangeable, eternal truth for those who truly, deeply believe absolutely all things are entirely, miraculously possible. I love you deeply, profoundly, and unconditionally, and I promise you, looking directly into your weary soul, that you will be completely, wonderfully all right. Trust completely, blindly, and joyfully in my perfect, impeccable, and sovereign timing as I prepare to lavishly, overwhelmingly bless every single area of your life. Because you are now heavily equipped for the internal spiritual battle, and because your mind is now fortified with my peace, I am going to seamlessly, miraculously translate that massive internal victory directly into a profound, undeniable, and highly visible external reality. The spiritual giants you have successfully, quietly conquered in the secret, lonely place of midnight prayer are now going to physically manifest as suddenly opened doors and miraculously, perfectly resolved difficulties in your everyday, waking life. I am actively arranging the complex, shifting circumstances of your environment with absolute divine mathematical precision so that when the perfect, appointed time finally arrives, you will gracefully, easily receive those massive blessings effortlessly, without having to exhaust yourself in a desperate, frantic, human struggle. I will actively, tangibly bless you, supernaturally open heavy iron doors of opportunity that have been stubbornly, impossibly bolted shut against you, and permanently, completely resolve the incredibly complex, exhausting, and stressful difficulties that have heavily weighed on your tired, slumped shoulders. This divine, practical deliverance absolutely extends to the very real, sometimes hostile, practical interactions you must bravely navigate every single day. I am going to personally, supernaturally touch the stubborn, hardened hearts of the people around you, including skeptical friends, difficult, estranged family members, powerful, intimidating judges, and strict, uncompromising authorities, so that they will suddenly, unexplainably regard you with immense, surprising favor and actively move to act directly in your best interest. Do not ever, for a single moment, fear what other frail, limited, angry human beings may try to do to you, because as long as you fiercely, stubbornly trust in me and continue to act with pure, uncompromised, and shining integrity, absolutely no one can successfully stand against you or maliciously harm your beloved, protected family. I am constantly, unfailingly with you every single day, fiercely guarding your steps until the very end of time. As I meticulously, lovingly arrange these favorable, miraculous circumstances for your ultimate good, I specifically and intentionally grant you the supernatural, vital gifts of profound patience and unshakable peace. I urgently, lovingly counsel you to use them incredibly wisely in the coming days. Do not ever allow the enemy to bait you into reacting impulsively to volatile, stressful situations fueled by temporary, chaotic, and blinding emotion. When provocation comes, when delays frustrate you, or when people misunderstand your intentions, do not rush frantically ahead of my guiding protective cloud, or make significant, life-altering, permanent decisions without first quietly seeking my divine, perfect counsel. I absolutely do not wish for you to become painfully ensnared, trapped, or messily embroiled in toxic, draining, and entirely unnecessary misunderstandings that only serve to steal your hard-won peace. Do not strike hasty, desperate, fear-driven deals with false friends who do not genuinely have your best, eternal interests at heart and who only seek to profit from your momentary vulnerability. I confirm, directly and intimately through this specific message today that I will indeed powerfully, noticeably, and undeniably assist you in absolutely every single practical matter you are currently facing. Please be incredibly patient, hold your peace, and allow me to completely and perfectly vindicate you before your detractors. As we brilliantly establish this magnificent, peaceful order in your physical relationships and your daily professional endeavors, we must also decisively, aggressively deal with the heavy, suffocating, terrifying giant of financial lack. To walk in the absolute true freedom I have designed for you, you must intentionally, carefully avoid aggressively accumulating any further debt. You have unfortunately had your painful, exhausting share of it, completely experiencing the heavy, crushing, sleep-stealing anxiety that directly comes from owing your precious, limited future to the unforgiving, demanding, and cruel systems of this fallen world. I absolutely do not want you to encumber your bright, beautiful, and expansive future with the heavy, rusted chains of ongoing financial obligation. The glorious spiritual armor I have carefully placed upon you today is specifically designed for total, unhindered, and joyful freedom, and debt is a cruel, heavy, agonizing shackle that severely limits your glorious, generous potential. Very soon, your entire complex life will be brilliantly, brightly illuminated, and you will fully, tangibly, and overwhelmingly experience my overwhelming grace and unprecedented, surprising kindness in your personal finances. I will completely, violently, and permanently shatter those heavy, rusting chains and complex financial bondages, entirely and completely enabling you to finally live a life of total, breathtaking freedom, completely independent of anyone else's control, manipulation, or rigid demands. We will together, hand in hand, chart a brand new, incredibly prosperous, and beautifully secure path for you to confidently follow. A path where you will always have far more than enough to perfectly provide for your family and to generously, lavishly bless those hurting people around you. This is our secret, a profound, intimate, and sacred understanding shared only between you and me for this beautiful season. The crushing, terrifying weight of not knowing exactly how you will financially survive the coming months is being entirely, completely lifted from your weary, aching shoulders right at this very miraculous moment. You are heavily, completely equipped for the fierce spiritual battle, and you are boldly stepping into a profound, unprecedented season of complete, sweeping victory across every single dimension of your entire existence. The long, agonizing days of weeping bitterly into your pillow over seemingly insurmountable bills, hostile, unyielding authorities, and intimidating, mocking giants are permanently, decisively over. You are walking confidently out of that dark, fearful bedroom as a fully armored, highly favored, fiercely loved, and totally victorious conqueror. And the world must now step aside in awe as you purposefully march directly into your divine, guaranteed inheritance. The chains of lack and fear are utterly broken. Yet, there is a deeper journey we must take, a quiet walk through the hidden pathways of your mind. Close your eyes for just a moment, take a deep, slow breath, and allow the heavy, chaotic, and rushing noises of the physical world around you to gently fade into absolute silence. We have spoken of the beautiful deliverance breaking forth in your external life. But now, I want us to turn our gentle attention inward. Give me your hand, and now rise. I want us to walk for a while along the pathways of your thoughts, exploring the vast, intricate, and deeply beautiful sanctuary of your own mind. Your mind is a sacred, immense landscape, originally designed by my own hands to be a flourishing garden of immense peace, soaring creativity, and profound, unbroken communion with my spirit. Yet, Over the long, arduous years of your earthly journey, the harsh winds of the world have blown through this delicate space. The heavy footfalls of worry have unfortunately worn deep, hard ruts into your daily patterns of thinking. And the invasive, thorny vines of anxiety have tried to aggressively choke out the vibrant, beautiful blooms of your God-given joy. I want us to walk together right now, step by slow step, through these winding mental pathways, absolutely without any rush, without any harsh judgment, and without any lingering fear. I am holding your hand with a firm, unshakable, and infinitely gentle grip, and my brilliant, warm light is completely illuminating every single dark, hidden corner of this internal landscape. As we stroll together in this quiet, holy imagination, I want you to feel entirely safe to open up the deepest, most guarded vaults of your inner world. Tell me, what do you fear? Why do you sometimes feel the light has faded? And why do you sometimes want to discard your beautiful, ordained destiny? I am asking you these questions not because I do not already know the answers, but because the very act of you bringing them into the light of my presence begins the profound, miraculous process of your total emotional healing. It is true, the world can be incredibly cruel. The fallen world operates on a completely different, harsh frequency than the gentle, loving kingdom of heaven. It is a world that often severely punishes vulnerability, heavily mocks pure innocence, and ruthlessly exploits the open, trusting heart. You have personally, deeply felt the sharp, abrasive friction of this reality pressing heavily against your sensitive spirit. You have walked through seasons where the constant, daily demands and the sudden, unexpected tragedies felt like an overwhelming, suffocating weight pressing down on your chest. I have watched you desperately try to navigate this harsh terrain, often feeling completely misunderstood, entirely overlooked, or deeply unappreciated by those you poured your heart into. I want to validate that deep, silent ache right now. Your pain is absolutely real, your exhaustion is entirely justified, and your quiet, hidden tears are incredibly precious to me. We are going to gently walk directly past the towering, dark monuments of your past regrets and the deep, shadowy valleys of your old sorrows, and we are absolutely not going to let them frighten you anymore. My presence beside you instantly strips those painful memories of their terrifying, paralyzing power, turning them into mere passing shadows that completely vanish in the brilliant, warm light of my eternal, unfailing grace. As we continue to walk deeper into the quiet, beautiful sanctuary of your memories, I want to gently lead you back to a very specific, precious time. Let us look together at the beautiful, untouched landscape of your earliest years. When you were a child, your eyes were profoundly curious, entirely full of vibrant, unrestrained hope for the absolute best in life. In those early, golden days, before the heavy burdens of adulthood were forcefully placed upon your fragile shoulders, you looked at the vast universe with a sense of pure, breathless wonder. You believed, with every fiber of your tiny being, that magnificent, beautiful miracles were entirely possible, that tomorrow would always be a glorious adventure, and that you were inherently, perfectly safe. You did not naturally carry a heavy defensive shield over your heart. You freely, joyfully offered your pure, radiant smile and genuine friendship to those you called friends, never once pausing to calculate the potential risks or anticipate hidden ulterior motives. That beautiful, breathtaking innocence was not foolishness, it was the exact, perfect reflection of my own divine nature shining brilliantly through your newly created soul. I created you to live in exactly that state of open, trusting, joyful wonder, constantly expecting goodness and easily giving love without any crippling fear of rejection or sudden, devastating loss. But as the years slowly, inevitably marched on, the harsh, unforgiving realities of the fallen world began to aggressively encroach upon your beautiful, sacred inner garden. The people you trusted most unfortunately proved themselves to be frail, flawed, and deeply imperfect humans. Untruths, sudden rejections, and broken promises later shadowed your bright hope, completely quieted your joyful laughter, and tragically dimmed your profound desire to truly live with vibrant, open passion. This darkening did not happen all at once, in a single, catastrophic moment. It was a slow, gradual, agonizing fading of the light. It was 1,000 tiny, paper-cut disappointments. It was the sudden realization that the world was not always safe. It was the devastating sting of feeling deeply misunderstood by those who were supposed to fiercely protect you. With every single broken promise, a new heavy stone was carefully, defensively added to the thick wall you were slowly, subconsciously building entirely around your tender heart. The brilliant technicolor landscape of your youthful imagination slowly turned into a cautious, guarded, grayscale map of sheer emotional survival. You cleverly learned to lower your expectations to avoid the crushing pain of disappointment. You learned to carefully hide your true, vulnerable feelings behind a polite, socially acceptable mask. And in that slow, agonizing process of building those necessary defensive walls, your once vibrant, unshakable love darkened, and you tragically stopped trusting and fully believing in me. You slowly, wrongly began to believe the insidious, toxic whisper of the enemy that because the flawed people in your life had deeply failed you, I too would inevitably abandon you in your hour of greatest need. You projected the unreliability of humanity directly onto the perfect, unfailing character of divinity. But believe me right now, deeply and completely, I understand you, and I know you as well as I comprehensively, perfectly know the vast, infinite sky. I do not sit on a distant, cold throne, completely detached from the intricate, agonizing complexities of your human experience. I am intimately, deeply acquainted with all your ways. Just as I purposefully, individually call each massive, burning star by its specific, unique name in the midnight sky, I intimately and perfectly know every single heavy burden in your life, every single hidden wound, and even your absolute smallest, most easily dismissed pain. Nothing you have ever felt, no matter how seemingly insignificant or entirely irrational it may have felt to you, has ever escaped my compassionate, watchful gaze. I felt the exact, sharp sting in your chest when those harsh words were spoken over you decades ago. I felt the deep, hollow, sickening drop in your stomach when that important relationship suddenly, unexpectedly fractured. I know the exact, precise frequency of your unique sorrow. We speak the exact same intimate language of the heart, and because of this profound, unmatched intimacy, I know exactly, perfectly, what will truly comfort you and permanently restore your soul. Feel the incredibly gentle, warm, soothing breeze moving softly through the magnificent, towering trees of this inner sanctuary we are walking through. Listen very closely to the crystal clear, bubbling sound of the pure, living water flowing effortlessly through the deep, hidden streams of your restored consciousness. This is the profound, beautiful sound of my absolute, eternal peace continuously, flawlessly washing over your tired, battered mind. For every single harsh, chaotic, deafening noise the fallen world has violently thrown at you, I am providing a deeply resonant, perfect, harmonic note of heavenly tranquility. I want you to deliberately take off the heavy, muddy, restrictive shoes of your earthly anxieties and feel the soft, cool, vibrant green grass of my grace directly beneath your feet. You do not have to nervously rush through this sacred, beautiful space. You do not have to frantically hurry to the next exhausting task or anxiously worry about the impending responsibilities of tomorrow. In this specific, wholly protected moment, time itself stands completely, perfectly still. You are entirely enveloped in a vast, infinite, golden bubble of divine serenity, where the only thing that truly, deeply matters is the unbroken, beautiful, intimate connection between your spirit and mine. Let the heavy physical tension permanently leave your neck and your shoulders as you finally, completely surrender to the overwhelming, undeniable reality of my gentle protective care. Hold my hand even tighter now. And as we walk further along these restored mental pathways, away from the shadows and into the glorious, brilliant light, I want to tell you about a magnificent, breathtaking place where you are fiercely, deeply loved beyond human comprehension. This is not a fragile, temporary, earthly location that can be easily destroyed by time or suddenly taken away by unfortunate circumstances. This is the ultimate, eternal, unshakable reality of my heavenly kingdom. And it is a reality that I want you to fully, confidently inhabit within your mind right now. In this glorious, majestic place, you absolutely do not wear the heavy, stained, tattered rags of past mistakes, lingering guilt, or the paralyzing shame of your human failures. Here, in my presence, you proudly, beautifully wear royal garments of absolute righteousness, brilliant purity, and unmatched divine favor. I want you to clearly, vividly visualize these magnificent garments resting gently, perfectly upon your shoulders. They are woven from the unbreakable threads of my eternal grace and perfectly tailored by my own hands to reflect your unique, breathtaking, spiritual beauty. When you walk through the vast golden halls of this heavenly reality, your name is intimately known, deeply appreciated, and universally admired by the entire host of heaven. You are entirely, completely celebrated not for what you have frantically accomplished or desperately produced, but simply, beautifully, for exactly who you are. I want to linger for a moment on the breathtaking, magnificent reality of the royal garments you are now wearing in this heavenly place. These are absolutely not heavy, restrictive, or cumbersome robes. They are woven from the pure, radiant, weightless light of my own divine glory. When you move, they shimmer with the brilliant, vibrant colors of my endless, unfathomable grace. Colors that human eyes have never even seen and human words could never possibly describe. You wear a magnificent, heavy crown upon your head, but it is not a crown of burdensome, earthly responsibility or stressful human leadership. It is a glorious, shining crown of absolute, unshakable peace and supreme, divine favor. It signifies to the entire unseen spiritual realm that you are under the direct, fiercely jealous, and completely impenetrable protection of the Most High King. Every single angelic being in the vast courts of heaven instantly recognizes the immense, majestic authority that completely covers you. They stand in absolute, silent awe of the beautiful, miraculous, redemptive work I have flawlessly accomplished within your fragile, human soul. You must begin to carry yourself with the profound, quiet, breathtaking dignity that this royal attire demands. You are absolutely no longer a spiritual beggar, desperately searching for a few scattered crumbs of affection. You are a fully reinstated, highly honored, and deeply beloved heir, entirely seated at the grand, lavish banquet table of the King. In that holy, magnificent place, a pure, loving, totally uncritical gaze rests permanently upon you every single minute of your life, day and night. It is a divine, overwhelming gaze that completely sees through all your clumsy, fearful defense mechanisms, totally bypasses all your deep-seated insecurities, and looks directly, penetratingly at the absolute, radiant perfection of your spirit. This is the gaze of a wildly, fiercely proud father looking at his absolute favorite child. Under the continuous, warming, healing light of this incredible divine attention, your weary, exhausted soul can finally completely stop running, stop hiding, and stop desperately trying to prove its inherent worth. Like a hungry, fragile little bird finding its safe nest, your battered, starved soul is deeply, completely, and permanently nourished there. All the deep, hollow, aching spaces within you that have been desperately, frantically crying out for earthly validation and human acceptance are instantly, overwhelmingly, and perfectly filled to the absolute brim with the rich, satisfying, eternal substance of my unfailing love. Here, in the brilliant, illuminating light of this perfect acceptance, all the false, ugly, restrictive labels the world has cruelly placed upon you, and even the harsh, unforgiving labels you have tragically placed upon yourself, completely and instantly melt away into nothingness. When all those heavy, false layers are gently, completely removed by my healing hands, you finally, clearly see that you are exactly who you truly are, the magnificent, beloved child of the Almighty, purposefully and beautifully created in the exact image and perfect likeness of the majestic creator of the entire universe. This is your absolute, undeniable, core identity. It is completely, permanently unchangeable. It absolutely cannot be diminished by your worst, most shameful mistakes, and it absolutely cannot be increased by your best, most noble achievements. It simply is. You carry the very divine spark of the infinite cosmos within your fragile human chest. You possess my vast, limitless creative power, my deep, unending capacity for sacrificial love, and my absolute sovereign authority over the darkness. The enemy has spent your entire life desperately, relentlessly, trying to induce a severe spiritual amnesia, trying to make you completely forget this breathtaking, terrifyingly powerful truth. But as we walk together in this quiet, peaceful sanctuary of your mind, I am permanently rewriting this eternal truth across the very skies of your consciousness. I am actively, aggressively commanding your mind to completely remember exactly who you are and exactly where you come from. Do not ever, for a single moment, forget this glorious, unshakable identity, even if you stumble, make a human error, or temporarily fall back into old, fearful patterns of thinking. A beloved child does not suddenly lose their permanent place in the family simply because they trip while learning how to walk. My grace is infinitely, vastly larger than your absolute greatest misstep. In the most beautiful, magnificent, breathtaking place in the entire created universe, you have your own specific, perfectly prepared place, designed just for you, and from here, absolutely nothing and absolutely no one will ever be able to remove you. Your place is permanently, eternally reserved. It bears your name. It fits you perfectly. And that incredibly safe, completely impenetrable place is, yes, deep within the very center of my heart, where you are completely, flawlessly protected from every single storm, every harsh accusation, and every terrifying threat. When you are firmly, consciously anchored deep within my heart, the chaotic, swirling, terrifying events of the external world completely lose their ability to shatter your inner peace. You can confidently, calmly watch the raging tempests blow outside, knowing with absolute ironclad certainty that you are resting securely inside the ultimate impenetrable fortress of my sovereign love. Because you now live permanently in this heavily protected, beautiful place, you have every right, every unimaginable privilege as my cherished child to confidently, boldly come and talk to me every single morning. The massive, heavy veil that once entirely separated humanity from the divine presence has been completely, violently torn in two from top to bottom. You do not ever need to stand far off in the cold distance, trembling in fear, desperately hoping I might briefly glance your way. You have open, unrestricted, constant, intimate access to the throne room of the universe. I want you to approach me not as a fearful, cowering servant, but as a confident, deeply loved heir. Come to me especially when you feel entirely, fundamentally unworthy. Come to me when your thoughts are messy, when your faith is severely wavering, and when your heart feels incredibly heavy with unexplained sadness. Do not wait until you feel perfectly clean or spiritually put together. Your perceived unworthiness is the exact, beautiful reason my boundless grace exists. It is in your absolute weakest, most vulnerable moments that my supernatural strength is most perfectly, radiantly displayed within you. Do not ever be deceived or intimidated by the toxic, whispering lies of the enemy when he tries to tell you that your past mistakes permanently disqualify you from my presence. With my ultimate, unfathomable, and completely selfless sacrifice, I have fully, permanently bought your life, paying an impossibly high price that you could never, ever afford. I have completely wiped the slate clean, erase your heavy, burdensome, regret-filled past with the undeniable reality of this massive, sweeping grace. Every single failure, every misspoken word, every selfish action, and every missed opportunity has been completely, totally consumed in the roaring, blazing fire of my redeeming love. You are entirely, completely brand new. The old, broken, fearful version of you has completely passed away, and a magnificent, radiant, spiritually invincible version of you has gloriously taken its place. Do not insult the breathtaking magnitude of my sacrifice by continuing to drag the heavy, rotting corpse of your past mistakes into the bright, beautiful promise of your new future. Let it go completely. Leave it completely buried in the deep ocean of my forgetfulness, and walk freely, lightly, and joyfully into the expansive, beautiful life I have flawlessly prepared for you. Once more, I repeat this absolute, ironclad, eternal promise to you so that it permanently anchors your soul against any future waves of doubt from this completely protected, sacred place deep within my heart. Absolutely no one will ever pull you out. Absolutely nothing in all of creation will ever forcibly remove you, and absolutely no one will ever separate you from my infinite, fierce love. The grip I have firmly on your life is completely unbreakable. The height, the depth, the length, and the breadth of my devotion to you cannot be successfully measured by any human mind or effectively challenged by any spiritual force in the cosmos. You are entirely, eternally mine. When the chaotic, terrifying world tries to loudly convince you that you are entirely alone, you must immediately, confidently return to this quiet, beautiful sanctuary in your mind. You must consciously, deliberately remember the gentle, firm feeling of my hand holding yours. You must recall the magnificent, flowing beauty of the royal garments I have permanently placed upon your shoulders. You must loudly, triumphantly declare to the darkness that you are the fully accepted, deeply loved, and fiercely protected child of the Most High God. You will always, eternally be exactly the same to me, my precious little one, my beautiful, beloved child. The rapid, chaotic passing of earthly time, the inevitable, physical aging of your earthly body, the constant, dizzying shifting of your financial or relational circumstances, and even the natural, unpredictable fluctuating of your own human emotions will never, ever, for a single fraction of a second, alter the intense, burning, perfect love I hold deeply for you. I look at you today with the exact same breathless wonder, the exact same fierce pride, and the exact same boundless, overwhelming affection that I felt on the very first day I lovingly, carefully formed you in the secret depths of your mother's womb. You are the absolute crowning joy of my magnificent creation. You are the beautiful, enduring masterpiece of my amazing grace. Let this profound, beautiful, life-altering truth sink so incredibly deep into the soil of your mind that it completely, permanently changes the entire way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you view your own glorious existence. As our quiet, healing walk through the restored pathways of your mind comes to a gentle pause, I want you to open your spiritual eyes and look at the entirely new, breathtaking landscape we have beautifully co-created. The heavy, dark monuments of fear have been entirely torn down. The dense, choking thorns of anxiety have been completely uprooted, and in their place, a magnificent, vibrant, blooming garden of absolute, unshakable peace is now flourishing within you. You are entirely safe here. You are completely known, deeply understood, and perfectly loved. The heavy, suffocating shadows of your past have been permanently, violently banished by the overwhelming, brilliant light of my eternal presence. You have successfully reclaimed the profound, joyful, trusting innocence of your childhood, but now it is permanently backed by the fierce, unbreakable, invincible wisdom and authority of heaven. You are completely ready to face the external world not as a fearful, broken victim, but as a radiant, powerful, fully armored sovereign who intimately knows exactly who they belong to and exactly what they are divinely destined to achieve. You know who you truly are now. But the enemy will try to cloud this beautiful truth with chaotic emotions. A final battle we are about to win. I want you to look back at the long, winding, and often treacherous road you have traveled to arrive at this exact moment, and I want you to recognize a profound, undeniable truth about your spirit. Despite the heavy, relentless storms that have violently battered your life, and despite the incredibly harsh terrain that has continually threatened to completely drain your endurance, you have not been defeated. Let that glorious, absolute reality sink deeply into the most exhausted, weary places of your aching soul. There were absolutely moments in the deepest, most terrifying darkness when you genuinely, logically believed that your strength had completely, finally evaporated. You honestly thought that the very next unexpected blow, the next piece of heavy news, would absolutely shatter your resolve into a million unrecoverable pieces. Yet, look at yourself today. You are right here, breathing, listening to my voice, and receiving my endless grace. Through all the unseen, silent battles of the midnight hours, you keep fighting and you remain alive. This is absolutely not a random accident of the universe. It is a magnificent, undeniable testament to the divine, unquenchable spark I purposely placed within your fragile chest. You have bravely weathered long, barren seasons of profound, aching loss, agonizing seasons of confusing, heavy silence, and exhausting seasons of desperate, tearful waiting. Through it all, you are still standing because you chose to believe in what I promised you. Your beautiful, stubborn faith, even when it felt as incredibly fragile as a tiny, flickering candle in the midst of a roaring, Category 5 hurricane, was more than enough to securely anchor your entire existence to my eternal throne. That specific, beautiful daily choice to boldly trust my word, even when absolutely everything around you screamed that you should finally give up, fills you with divine and supernatural strength. This is a majestic, roaring strength that completely bypasses your normal, limited physical capacities and your drained emotional reserves. It is a heavenly, impenetrable fortification wrapped entirely around your spirit that nothing can overcome, nothing can defeat you. I want you to permanently engrave these powerful assurances onto the very forefront of your mind. Remember these words well and keep resisting the relentless attacks of the enemy. The adversary operates in the hidden shadows, launching invisible, toxic arrows of paralyzing doubt, sudden, irrational panic, and deep, suffocating insecurity directly at your mind. His ultimate desperate goal is entirely transparent. He is constantly trying to make you abandon all your dreams. He wants you to slowly, tragically lower your expectations, to quietly settle for a miserable gray existence of mere survival, and to permanently bury the brilliant, vibrant destiny I have specifically, beautifully written for your life. He wants you to believe that the magnificent, expansive promises I have spoken over your future are simply too good to be true. But I declare to you today, with the absolute thundering authority of heaven, that his desperate, malicious campaign against your soul will ultimately fail. It won't succeed. You belong to me. You are my highly treasured, fiercely protected possession, completely sealed by my Holy Spirit. When the enemy looks at you, he does not just see a vulnerable, isolated human being, he sees the blinding, terrifying, absolute authority of the Most High God resting heavily and permanently upon your life. I protect you with my mighty hand, and I defend you with my shining sword. My hand is a vast, impenetrable canopy of safety that constantly hovers over your waking hours and your vulnerable resting moments. My sword is the brilliant, blazing truth of my word, effortlessly and violently severing every single trap, every hidden snare, and every malicious lie that is ever set against you. You do not have to fight these exhausting spiritual battles in your own limited, fragile strength ever again. The grand, sweeping victory of your life has already been permanently secured in the highest courts of heaven, and your victory will always be in my word. When you wake up in the morning and walk into the world will constantly try to offer you distorted, ugly mirrors. It will try to define your inherent worth by your fluctuating bank account, your past, painful relationship failures, or the harsh, unforgiving opinions of critical, deeply flawed people. I command you to completely reject those false, dirty reflections. Instead, look at yourself in the mirror of my powerful promises. When you look into that pristine, divine glass, you will clearly, undeniably see exactly who you truly are: a magnificent, radiant, completely forgiven, and deeply empowered sovereign heir to my kingdom. Let my eternal truth completely wash away every single trace of the toxic shame, the lingering guilt, and the heavy feelings of inadequacy that you have carried for far too long. Be sure that for me you are greatly esteemed and valued. You are not an afterthought. You are not a burden. You are the absolute crowning joy of my magnificent creation, and the immense, unfathomable value I place upon your life is exactly why I am completely committed to your total, absolute, and overwhelming triumph. Now, we must address the most critical, sensitive, and difficult arena of your ongoing spiritual journey. I want to speak to you with a fierce, jealous, and intensely protective love about the inner workings of your own mind. The enemy knows he absolutely cannot penetrate my mighty hand, so he desperately attempts to wage his war from within your own borders. The greatest battle is against your own emotions. I am not telling you this to scold you, to diminish your genuine feelings, or to make you feel guilty for being beautifully, wonderfully human. I am revealing this vital, tactical truth to you because I desperately want to protect you from the terrifying, blinding illusions of your own temporary fear. Your emotions are a beautiful, necessary gift, masterfully designed to help you deeply experience the rich, vibrant colors of my love, the profound joy of human connection, and the sweet, peaceful comfort of my presence. But because of the intense, unrelenting pressure of this fallen world, those same emotions can easily become highly distorted, erratic, and dangerously volatile. They are like shifting, unstable sand, which sometimes, confused, leads you to think and feel things that are not true. Have you not noticed how a sudden wave of intense, unexplained anxiety can instantly convince you that your entire future is completely, utterly ruined, even when absolutely nothing in your actual physical reality has negatively changed? Have you not felt how a dark, fleeting mood of profound sadness can quickly, aggressively whisper that you are entirely, permanently alone and totally unloved? Despite the clear, massive evidence of my continuous, faithful provision all around you? These heavy, suffocating feelings feel incredibly, undeniably real in the very moment they strike. And they can cause your physical heart to race and your hands to literally tremble. But they are absolutely not the truth. They are merely passing, chaotic, emotional weather patterns moving across the vast, stable sky of your eternal identity. And if not careful, can bring you down. If you constantly entertain every dark thought, if you readily invite every single anxious feeling to sit comfortably at the head of your mental table, they will slowly, systematically drain your divine strength and paralyze your ability to boldly step into your glorious destiny. Therefore, I give you this absolute, fiercely protective and empowering mandate for your ultimate freedom. Do not be guided by your feelings. Do not ever let your temporary, fluctuating emotional state dictate your permanent, unshakable spiritual reality. When you wake up feeling entirely empty, unmotivated, and deeply afraid, you must deliberately, forcefully choose to aggressively walk in the absolute authority of what you know to be eternally true, completely ignoring the loud, chaotic screaming of what you currently feel. Let my eternal, unchanging word be the sole, reliable compass that definitively steers the great ship of your life, not the unpredictable, violent winds of your daily human moods. When you look at the incredibly complex, stubborn, and daunting obstacles currently standing in your way, do not think that you are defeated by the problems you see. Human sight is incredibly limited. It only ever captures a tiny, incredibly fragmented fraction of the grand, sweeping, majestic picture I am constantly, meticulously painting. The massive problem that looks completely insurmountable and entirely permanent to your tired, anxious eyes is actually nothing but a temporary, fragile paper wall that is already beginning to completely dissolve under the immense, unseen weight of my approaching glory. This fierce, protective covering extends completely over how you process and receive information from the outside world. The world is constantly, loudly broadcasting fear, division, and impending doom. But you belong to a completely different, higher, and invincible kingdom. Do not be filled with fear over bad news or situations that seem negative. When a sudden, unexpected medical report arrives, when a promising financial deal unexpectedly falls through, or when a trusted relationship suddenly hits a terribly rocky, painful patch, your immediate natural human instinct is to instantly panic and assume the absolute worst possible outcome. But I command you to instantly, boldly interrupt that toxic, downward spiral of fear. The very second the bad news hits your ears, before you even have a chance to fully process the potential consequences, I want you to immediately, forcefully declare my absolute sovereignty over the situation. Remind your racing, terrified heart, for I always have control over your life. Absolutely nothing, no economic collapse, no sudden illness, no malicious human agenda, and no unforeseen accident can ever, for a single fraction of a second, usurp my supreme ultimate authority over your specific, ordained destiny. I am the master architect of the universe, and I am the undisputed sovereign author of your personal story. I possess the miraculous, unfathomable ability to take the absolute darkest, most painful, and most chaotic elements of your earthly existence and effortlessly weave them into a breathtaking, magnificent tapestry of overwhelming victory. I transform all things for the good of those I love. Notice that I did not say I merely tolerate the bad things, or that I simply offer you comfort while you endure them. I powerfully, actively, and aggressively transform them. The very weapons the enemy maliciously forged specifically for your complete destruction are the exact same tools I will miraculously use to violently elevate you to a level of unprecedented, undeniable influence, peace, and prosperity. You are absolutely not a random victim of blind, cruel chance. You are fiercely, specifically, and intentionally loved, and you are among the chosen ones. My intense, burning, jealous favor is permanently, heavily resting upon you, acting as an invisible, impenetrable force field that completely surrounds your entire life, violently filtering out anything that does not ultimately serve your highest, eternal good. To truly, deeply master your emotions and completely conquer the internal chaos, you must constantly, aggressively return to the absolute foundation of your spiritual identity. Your worth, your purity, and your unshakable power are entirely rooted in the magnificent, ultimate work I have already flawlessly completed on your behalf. With my blood, I have washed you. This is the most profound, beautiful, and staggering reality of the universe. Every single stain of your past, every hidden agonizing failure, every deeply buried toxic shame, and every secret painful regret has been completely, totally, and permanently eradicated by my ultimate flawless sacrifice. When I look at you, I do not see a broken, flawed, struggling human being. I see absolute, radiant, breathtaking perfection. With my spirit I have filled you. You are not operating on a limited, quickly depleting battery of human willpower. You are the sacred, chosen, carrying vessel of the very creator of the cosmos. The exact same explosive, limitless, roaring power that easily called the billion stars into existence and violently conquered the cold grave is currently, vibrantly alive and actively humming within your physical body. Because of this astonishing, undeniable reality, I've given you the power to be victorious in all things. Not just in a few minor, easy areas of your life, but in absolutely all things. In your complex, messy finances, in your deeply strained, painful relationships, in your physical and mental health, and in the profound, quiet sanctity of your own mind. I ask you today to radically change your posture. Stop frantically fighting the overwhelming waves of your anxiety with your own exhausting, frantic efforts. Instead, hold on to me with your sincere heart. Let your absolute, total dependence on my unfailing grace become your ultimate, impenetrable superpower. When the dark, suffocating chaos of the world tries to violently drown you, simply close your tired eyes, take a deep, slow breath, and take refuge in my love always. My love is not a soft, abstract, distant theological concept. It is a highly secure, heavily fortified, impenetrable, massive fortress. It is a solid, unshakable sanctuary where the loud, terrifying noise of your insecurities is instantly, completely silenced, and the frantic, exhausting demands of your earthly life simply cannot reach you. Enter into this profound, quiet refuge, let go of your heavy, burdensome need to constantly manage every detail, and allow me to be the fierce, unyielding protector I have always promised to be. Now, I want to give you a promise that will completely, permanently shatter the heaviest, darkest chain the enemy uses against your mind. The enemy loves to endlessly, cruelly torment you with the agonizing memory of your past mistakes. He loudly whispers that your foolish choices, your angry words, or your missed opportunities have permanently derailed my perfect plan for your life, forever disqualifying you from my highest, greatest blessings. He tries to make you believe that you have somehow ruined the beautiful destiny I prepared for you. But listen to me very carefully, and let this truth permanently heal your soul, and in this moment, as you receive my word, be assured that even your own mistakes will be turned to your benefit. This is the absolute, staggering, incomprehensible magnitude of my boundless grace. I am so entirely, incredibly sovereign, and my redemptive power is so massive, sweeping, and unstoppable that I can take the very foolish things you did in your absolute worst, most selfish moments and miraculously, beautifully weave them directly into the solid, unshakable foundation of your greatest, most glorious triumph. Your past failures are absolutely not permanent, ugly roadblocks on your journey. They are simply the raw, messy materials I am actively using to beautifully construct your magnificent, undeniable testimony. You have not ruined anything. You have simply provided me with a grand, expansive stage upon which I will brilliantly, undeniably display the breathtaking, staggering depth of my unmerited mercy. Because your past is now completely, entirely covered, and your future is perfectly, flawlessly secured in my hands, I declare over your life that the long, grueling, agonizing season of endless hardship is finally coming to a permanent, glorious end. You will suffer no more. The arbitrary, crushing, exhausting pain that has heavily defined your existence for so long is being violently, permanently lifted. I am gently leading you into a lush, expansive, incredibly beautiful season of profound, refreshing ease, supernatural, unexplainable favor, and continuous, overwhelming joy. The heavy, dark anxieties that have plagued your thoughts regarding those you love the most are also being entirely, completely banished today. Rest your weary, troubled heart, because I fiercely promise you that your family will be well. I am placing a massive, impenetrable, angelic hedge of divine protection around your home, around your children, and around every single person you hold dear in your heart. They are entirely safe in my grip, and you can finally release the heavy, suffocating burden of constantly worrying about their ultimate safety and their future well-being. As you step boldly and confidently into this magnificent, newly established peace, entirely free from the heavy, dragging chains of emotional turmoil and the paralyzing fear of bad news, you are going to witness a beautiful, glorious, unstoppable acceleration in your daily life. And as the days go by, you will continue to see how you progress toward those dreams you have longed for. The grand, beautiful visions I carefully, secretly planted deep within your heart so long ago, the ones you quietly, sadly thought you had to permanently abandon because the journey became simply too hard, are about to spectacularly, undeniably manifest in your physical reality. You will watch with absolute, breathless, wide-eyed wonder as closed, rusted doors suddenly, violently swing wide open as impossible, stubborn resources miraculously, easily flow directly into your hands, and as the right, divine connections are effortlessly, perfectly made on your behalf. You are moving steadily, unstoppably forward, carried by the massive, invisible, rushing current of my divine favor. I intimately, compassionately understand that the journey to this incredible, victorious point has been exceptionally, brutally hard. At some point you may feel tired. That's normal. Do not ever condemn yourself for feeling the heavy, very real weight of human exhaustion. You have bravely fought massive, unseen spiritual battles that would have completely, instantly crushed a lesser spirit. It is entirely acceptable to need profound, quiet rest. It is completely okay to admit that you are worn out from the long, difficult fight. When the deep, heavy fog of battle rolls in, when problems are so dark that they blind your eyes and you can't see where you're going, do not panic. Do not frantically, desperately thrash around in the blinding darkness, desperately trying to figure out the complex path completely on your own. When the thick, disorienting exhaustion sets in, and the circumstances around you make absolutely no logical sense, perhaps you feel defeated, but this is not true. Remember the vital ironclad rule we established. Your temporary, heavy feelings absolutely do not dictate your permanent eternal reality. Your exhaustion is simply a temporary physical state. It is absolutely not a permanent spiritual verdict. In those specific, terribly dark, incredibly confusing moments when you are completely stripped of your own strength and totally unable to see the very next step, that is exactly when my grace becomes the most incredibly, radiantly real in your life. You do not have to see the entire distant staircase to safely reach the beautiful top. You only need to trust the unfailing hand that is firmly, gently leading you. I lead you by the hand even in the darkness. I am the brilliant, piercing, unquenchable light that completely shatters the deepest, most terrifying gloom. I intimately, perfectly know every single unseen step, every hidden, dangerous turn, and every sudden, steep drop on this path, and I will absolutely not let your foot slip for even a fraction of a second. You can confidently, safely walk completely blindfolded through the absolute darkest, most terrifying valley of your entire life, because the omnipotent creator of the universe is personally, carefully guiding your every single movement. Therefore, release every last lingering ounce of tension from your tired body. Let go of the heavy, exhausting, suffocating need to figure everything out. Breathe in the pure, perfect, absolute peace of knowing that you are entirely, completely, and permanently covered. Do not fear, my child. Your Father who loves you will never abandon you. My devotion to you is eternal, unshakable, and entirely flawless. You have successfully mastered your emotions not by desperately suppressing them, but by boldly, fiercely anchoring them to the solid, unmovable rock of my eternal truth. The internal chaos is finally silenced, leaving only one eternal truth to embrace as we seal the promise I made to you at the very beginning. Tell me now, in the quiet, undisturbed sanctuary of your own mind, that you truly believe in me, and that in my everlasting arms you finally feel entirely, permanently safe. I want to hear that beautiful, deeply authentic confession of unyielding faith rise from the very deepest, most vulnerable core of your spirit, completely breaking through and permanently shattering any remaining, lingering shadows of doubt that still desperately try to cling to your thoughts. You have exhaustively, tirelessly searched the vast, chaotic, and often incredibly cruel world for genuine comfort, desperately looking for a temporary, fleeting sense of relief in places, achievements, and heavily flawed people that could never ever possibly understand the complex, profound, and unique depths of your personal sorrow. But I deeply, passionately want you to know today, with an absolute, ironclad, and entirely unshakable certainty, that I am the only holy and supernatural remedy for absolutely all your physical, emotional, and spiritual ills. I am the divine, perfect, and absolute cure for the heavy, suffocating, and dark anxiety that has relentlessly, aggressively tried to claim your beautiful mind as its permanent, terrifying territory. When you finally, completely surrender and lean your weary, exhausted head against my chest, the frantic, terrifying, and deafening noise of the outside world is instantly, miraculously, and permanently silenced. The deep, agonizing, and festering wounds that were maliciously inflicted upon you by the careless, harsh words and the profoundly selfish actions of others are currently actively being bound up and meticulously healed by the gentle, soothing, and incredibly warm oil of my boundless, unfailing grace. You absolutely do not have to carry the agonizing, heavy, and crushing burden of your unhealed trauma for a single solitary second longer. I am your supreme, magnificent, and entirely sovereign healer, and my restorative, miraculous power flows seamlessly, effortlessly, and powerfully through every single microscopic fiber of your physical and spiritual being, completely making you whole, vibrantly alive, and radiantly, perfectly new. I am your ultimate, unfailing provider. your fierce, unyielding, and terrifyingly powerful protector, and in my sovereign, omnipotent hands I securely, tightly, and permanently hold your entire life and your beautiful, expansive future. Absolutely nothing about your tomorrow is left to random, cruel chance or the chaotic, unpredictable whims of the fallen universe. The vast, intimidating, and seemingly blank canvas of your unknown future is absolutely not a terrifying void of endless uncertainty. It is a magnificent, perfectly detailed, and breathtaking masterpiece that I have already flawlessly painted with the brilliant, warm, and radiant colors of my overwhelming favor and my endless, compassionate mercy. I intimately know that the heavy, crushing weight of the unknown is so incredibly hard to carry on your fragile, easily exhausted human shoulders, and I see how you have been thinking so intensely, so obsessively about what might possibly happen next, that it is deeply, painfully tearing you apart on the inside. You have spent countless, agonizing, and entirely sleepless hours desperately trying to mentally solve incredibly complex, impossible equations of mere survival. Desperately trying to manipulate uncontrollable earthly circumstances to somehow ensure your own fragile safety and the long-term security of those you fiercely cherish. But I must lovingly, firmly, and decisively tell you today that living in a constant, paralyzing state of deep distress over the future is absolutely not the abundant, joyful, and incredibly free life I have specifically, intentionally designed for you. I absolutely did not breathe my eternal, sacred, and holy life into your fragile lungs so that you could miserably spend your precious, limited earthly days cowering in the dark shadows, paralyzed by the sheer terror of what imaginary disasters tomorrow might bring. The future belongs entirely, exclusively to me, and because you belong completely and eternally to me, your future is absolutely, perfectly, and unshakably secure. You must deeply, fundamentally, and completely understand that I am the absolute, sovereign, and undisputed master of time. The chaotic, rushing, and completely unforgiving clock that constantly dictates the frantic, exhausting pace of the human world has absolutely zero authority over my divine, majestic, and perfectly orchestrated plans for your life. You have sometimes cried out to me in the lonely, terrifying darkness, feeling completely forgotten, entirely abandoned, and desperately wondering why the beautiful, massive promises I made to your spirit seem to be taking so incredibly long to finally manifest in your visible, physical reality. You have watched others around you seemingly receive their massive, sudden breakthroughs while you remained painfully stuck in the agonizing, silent, and incredibly dark waiting room of life. But I fiercely, unconditionally promise you, looking directly into the deepest, most hidden chambers of your weary soul, my timing is absolutely, flawlessly, and mathematically perfect. I am never, ever late. I always arrive exactly on time, precisely when you truly need me at the absolute best, most perfect, and most glorious moment. What you currently perceive through your severely limited, anxious, and terrified human understanding as a cruel, agonizing, and entirely unnecessary delay is actually a profound, meticulous, and deeply, intensely loving season of divine, supernatural preparation. I have been intentionally, carefully using this incredibly difficult, painful waiting period to beautifully, brilliantly refine your character, to massively, exponentially expand your spiritual capacity, and to deliberately forge an unbreakable diamond-like and absolutely fierce faith within you that absolutely no future storm, no sudden tragedy, and no malicious attack will ever be able to shatter. If I had simply handed the massive, overwhelming, and heavy blessing to you even a single solitary day sooner, you would absolutely not have possessed the necessary spiritual strength, the deep, grounded wisdom, or the profound emotional maturity to properly carry its immense, staggering weight. The waiting was absolutely never a harsh punishment. It was always my fierce, incredibly protective grace actively, tirelessly working behind the invisible, complex scenes of your daily life. So, I lovingly, gently, but urgently urge you, learn to patiently, gracefully, and quietly wait for me. Even when it seems your fragile human strength is entirely, utterly failing from waiting for what feels like much too long. Do not ever allow the temporary, painful illusion of delay to completely, tragically rob you of your unshakable, rock-solid confidence in my eternal character. When your physical energy is completely, totally depleted, when your emotional reserves run entirely, agonizingly dry, that is the exact, beautiful, and miraculous moment my limitless, roaring, and supernatural strength seamlessly, effortlessly takes over. I am the undisputed sovereign Lord of absolutely all creation. The bright, productive, and busy days are completely mine, and I am the majestic, sovereign, and entirely undisputed creator of the quiet, deep, and often terrifying nights. I know intimately, with a heart completely full of boundless compassion, that the nighttime has often been the absolute hardest, most terrifying, and most agonizing part of your entire earthly journey. When the warm sun goes down and the distracting, busy, and comforting noises of the day finally fade away into silence, your mind has far too often become a chaotic, terrifying, and completely exhausting battlefield. You have tossed and turned in your bed, desperately, frantically seeking just a few moments of peaceful rest, while a relentless, loud, and entirely toxic barrage of terrifying what-ifs violently assaulted your fragile peace. You have stared blankly at the dark ceiling, feeling the heavy, suffocating, and entirely crushing weight of anxiety pressing down violently upon your chest, completely stealing your breath. But I am declaring a permanent, glorious, and absolute end to those agonizing, tear-filled, and entirely sleepless nights. I am powerfully, decisively reclaiming the sacred, holy hours of your physical and emotional rest. From this magnificent, breathtaking day forward, when paralyzing, irrational anxiety suddenly strikes in the darkness, you must fiercely, aggressively, and completely resist it. When it screams loudly and maliciously in your ears, trying to completely convince you of your impending, unavoidable doom, you must speak directly to it and tell it aloud that there is absolutely no fear left in your heart. You must boldly, confidently, and entirely unapologetically use the massive, divine, and absolute authority I have specifically, intentionally given you. Do not simply lie there in the darkness as a passive, helpless, and completely terrified victim to the toxic, whispering, and malicious lies of the entirely defeated enemy. Open your mouth and audibly, powerfully, and fiercely declare my eternal, unbreakable promises directly over your sleeping environment. Command the dark, oppressive, and heavy spirits of worry to violently, immediately flee from your presence, completely terrified by the blinding, radiant, and absolutely pure light of my Holy Spirit that permanently, safely dwells within you. You will be utterly, completely amazed to clearly see for yourself how quickly the suffocating dark fear completely dissolves, leaving your weary, exhausted soul entirely free to finally, deeply enjoy my profound, restorative, and absolutely perfect peace. I want you to look back right now and carefully, objectively, and entirely honestly examine the undeniable, glorious, and absolutely perfect track record of our long journey together. Think about absolutely every single terrifying crisis, every sudden, devastating, and entirely unexpected loss, every overwhelming, massive financial mountain, and every agonizing, incredibly deep heartbreak you have ever faced in your entire complex life. Look at the massive, seemingly impossible, and entirely terrifying odds that were repeatedly, relentlessly stacked impossibly high against you. Now, I want you to fully realize a breathtaking, staggering, and entirely undeniable truth. Since the very day you completely, unconditionally surrendered the control of your complex life into my strong, capable, and entirely unfailing hands, you have not lost a single, solitary battle. You may have been heavily, painfully bruised in the process. You may have been deeply, agonizingly exhausted by the prolonged fight. And you may have temporarily, frighteningly stumbled under the immense, crushing, and terrifying pressure of the conflict. But you have absolutely never, ever been ultimately, permanently defeated. I have flawlessly, miraculously, and entirely safely brought you completely through every single raging, terrifying fire without letting you be consumed, and I have safely, powerfully, and incredibly gently pulled you through every single deep, dark, and terrifying flood without letting you drown. Your continued resilient survival is absolutely not a lucky, random accident of the universe. It is the concrete, undeniable, and entirely absolute proof of my active, sovereign, and fierce protection over your specific, ordained destiny. You haven't bravely, relentlessly, and entirely stubbornly fought so incredibly hard, enduring such massive, agonizing, and entirely devastating trials, just to suddenly, completely give up now. You must keep going forward with an unshakable, fierce, and entirely beautiful resolve. You are standing on the very edge of the most magnificent, breathtaking, and entirely life-altering breakthrough of your entire existence, and you absolutely cannot afford to let temporary, fleeting exhaustion steal the massive, eternal, and entirely guaranteed reward that is waiting just one step ahead. Therefore, I urgently, lovingly, and entirely firmly command you to cover your ears completely and permanently to the toxic, deceiving, and entirely malicious voices of the enemy. He is a completely defeated, entirely humiliated, and absolutely powerless foe who has absolutely no real, tangible authority over your life other than the temporary power you mistakenly, fearfully hand over to him through your own ungrounded anxiety. He will desperately, frantically try to loudly scream that you are completely, entirely alone, that your past painful mistakes have permanently, entirely ruined your future, and that I have finally, ultimately, and completely abandoned you. But you must instantly, powerfully recognize these as the frantic, dying, and entirely desperate gasps of a proven liar who absolutely knows his time is completely, entirely up. Answer me right now from the absolute deepest, most authentic, and entirely pure core of your beautiful heart, who loves you vastly, infinitely, and entirely more than I do. Absolutely no one. My fierce, burning, jealous, and entirely unfathomable love for you completely defies all limited human logic, completely transcends the restrictive temporary boundaries of earthly time, and violently, permanently shatters every single barrier that attempts to separate us. When you fully, deeply, and entirely comprehend the staggering, incomprehensible, and entirely breathtaking magnitude of this divine affection, every single lingering trace of anxiety, every hidden shadow of insecurity, and every quiet whisper of doubt will instantly, permanently evaporate like thin morning mist under the blazing hot and entirely inescapable sun. You will boldly walk through the remaining beautiful days of your earthly life with a profound, majestic, and completely unshakable confidence. Absolutely knowing that you are the fiercely protected, highly favored, and deeply, eternally cherished child of the King of Kings. This brings us to the grand, sweeping, and entirely magnificent culmination of the beautiful, profound promise I made to you at the very beginning of this sacred, holy encounter. I told you that if you stayed with me, I would miraculously, completely reveal a path you never knew existed. That path is not a physical road paved with temporary earthly gold. It is the magnificent, profound, and completely transcendent path of absolute, total, and permanent rest in my flawless divine timing. It is the glorious, liberating, and entirely beautiful journey of completely, finally letting go of the heavy, exhausting, and entirely false illusion of human control and falling backward, completely blindfolded, with absolute, unwavering trust into the massive, strong, and entirely unfailing arms of your Creator. What I have perfectly, meticulously, and entirely beautifully prepared for you at the end of this beautiful path is vastly, infinitely greater than you can ever possibly imagine. It goes far, entirely beyond mere temporary financial stability, physical, earthly health, or repaired human relationships, though it certainly, abundantly, and completely includes all of those beautiful necessary things. What I have perfectly prepared is a permanent, glorious state of such profound, deep, and entirely eternal harmony with my spirit that absolutely nothing in the entire physical universe will ever be able to disturb your profound, unshakable peace again. The agonizing, heavy, and entirely dark wait is finally, gloriously, and completely over. The bitter, silent tears of the long, painful, and entirely terrifying night have been completely, permanently wiped away by my own gentle, entirely loving hands. The heavy, rusted, and entirely cruel chains of anxiety, fear, and debt have been completely, violently shattered into a million unrecoverable, useless pieces. You are entirely, beautifully, wonderfully, and completely free, as you stand here, completely bathed in the radiant, warm, and entirely healing light of my overwhelming absolute approval. I want you to deeply, entirely inhale the pure, crisp, and vibrant air of this entirely new, breathtaking spiritual atmosphere. You are entirely no longer a weary, battered, and utterly exhausted pilgrim desperately wandering through a dark, unforgiving, and cruel wasteland. You are a magnificent, triumphant, fully armored, and entirely invincible conqueror who has successfully, bravely navigated the absolute darkest, most terrifying valleys and miraculously, gloriously emerged on the highest, most breathtaking, and entirely sunlit peaks of eternal, absolute victory. The massive, intimidating, and entirely terrifying mountain of complex problems that once completely tragically obscured your view of the beautiful horizon has completely crumbled into fine, harmless, and entirely insignificant dust, blown entirely away by the gentle, sovereign, and entirely unstoppable breath of my mouth. Your entirely defeated enemies, both the unseen, malicious spiritual forces and the tangible, intimidating earthly obstacles, have been permanently, utterly defeated and completely silenced forever. They are completely, entirely powerless to ever inflict another single moment of genuine, lasting terror upon your beautiful, entirely restored soul. The internal, heavy chaos, the swirling, terrifying, and entirely exhausting storms of your own volatile emotions, and the heavy, suffocating, and entirely paralyzing anxiety about your complex future have all been completely, permanently, and violently subdued by my spoken, eternal, and entirely unchangeable word. You have completely, entirely mastered your deepest fears by totally, unconditionally, and entirely surrendering them to my absolute sovereign control. You have beautifully, bravely embraced the profound, life-altering, and entirely heavenly mandates of complete, unreserved surrender, radical, continuous gratitude, and selfless, entirely generous sharing, and in doing so, you have permanently, violently locked the heavy, iron gates of your mind against the creeping shadows of depression, isolation, and absolute despair. This is the profound, beautiful, and entirely eternal reality of your completely restored, magnificent identity. The grand, sweeping, and entirely breathtaking story of your life was never, ever, for a single fraction of a second, destined to end in crushing, humiliating defeat, bitter, agonizing tragedy, or silent, forgotten, and entirely hopeless misery. It was always, from the very foundation of the vast universe, flawlessly, meticulously designed to be a magnificent, breathtaking, and entirely undeniable testament to my unyielding, miraculous, and entirely absolute redemptive power. I have deliberately taken the absolute deepest, most agonizing, and entirely devastating pain of your past and beautifully, miraculously, and entirely perfectly woven it into a glorious, radiant, and entirely majestic crown of overcoming, absolute victory. I have taken your exhausting, tear-filled, desperate, and entirely agonizing midnight prayers and powerfully, miraculously transformed them into the very unbreakable foundation of your permanent, undeniable, and entirely beautiful generational breakthrough. The profound, holy, and entirely unshakable serenity I promised you at the very beginning of this sacred, intimate conversation is entirely no longer a distant, desperate, and entirely fragile hope. It is your permanent, daily, concrete, and entirely guaranteed reality. You absolutely do not have to carry the agonizing, heavy burden of your unhealed trauma or your paralyzing, entirely terrifying anxiety for a single solitary second longer. My pure, holy presence is your permanent, unshakable, and entirely beautiful sanctuary. My unfailing, fierce, and entirely jealous love is your ultimate, impenetrable,